Are we live? Are we live? We're live. Live. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, YouTube, it's Friday night. It's 8 p.m. It's Transformers the show. But tonight is a very different show because not only is it Friday at 8 p.m., it's 4 weeks until TFN. Jamie, please play the intro.
There's a magical place, we're on our way there, with toys in the millions all under one roof. It's called Toys R Us. Soon after bedtime, when dark nighttime falls, Jeffrey and helpers stock up all the shelves. From ceilings to floor, books, board games and bikes, tennis, puppets and dolls, beds, spaceships and trikes. There's millions, says Jeffrey, all under one roof. It's called Toys R Us, Toys R Us, Toys R Us.
I love that theme tune. Honestly, that is the best intro we've ever done. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to episode 231, our 2024 TFN special. We are pleased, honoured and privileged to be joined by Billy Stripes from TFN this evening. Billy, how are you?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. Thought you were going to say Alexis, but I'm pleased to be here as well.
As you probably noticed, I'm hosting tonight because Paul's babysitting, but we will have a very similar format. So the host might be different, but the format will be the same. We've got our news, we've got our favourite TFN pickups, we've got our fave TFN moments, and then our discussion is going to be all things TFN 2024.
Hi, Emma.
News.
Hi, Emma.
TV, and now the news. Don't touch that dial.
Hi, Emma. We'll start with the next 9. I bit of a change. So, YOLO Park, who I've been using, have had their pictures of 8-Blink. We have seen some other shots of this previously, but I think these ones are in-hand ones. So this is their 8-Blink, which, you've got some comparison shots there with Optimus Primal. Alexis, you collect these, don't you?
Not the. I collect the traditional.
Oh, you get the
version.
G1 style ones, don't you? Yeah,
G1 size. I think these are really quite cool if you want to get into collecting these days. It's like if you want a non-transforming like articulated figure, which is like popping. The paint job's really good. Their quality's really good, and the price one's quite good as well.
You say popping?
Popping, yeah.
Do people use that? Looks Rizman.
It's absolutely wizard that he used that. This is. I think it looks really good. I'm sure there will be, if not this particular one, certainly others of this type from YOLO Park available at a certain convention we call TFN this year. And I know a lot of people who have them, and they all seem to say very positive things about them.
Would a bit of colour go in the stove?
Go on.
What a bit of colour hurt, did you say?
Yeah.
Well, he's designed to look like he did on the screen. He didn't have a lot of colour then, so I guess that's the reason behind it. You know, it is supposed to be screen accurate as opposed to.
He looks like a silverback, to be honest. So I was going to say, are the other figures that you shown when he was ripping them apart, like the other Megatron and everything else, are they all part of the YOLO Park range? I didn't realize that.
I assume so. As YOLO Park shared them, I kind of work on that assumption.
Well, no, because it's official, like when who is it? Robertson share some of their figures. They use some of the official Takara figures as well, like as just make up
That's
numbers.
because Robertson don't have the other figures and it's self-transform.
I feel like, just as in previous weeks, I need to remind Alexis that I didn't actually take these photos, so I don't know. But it's
possible Park had the figures, they were using other figures.
It's YOLO Park figures, Alexis.
We will move on, and this is 3-0 who revealed their DLX Revenge of the Fallen Optimus Prime and Jetfire in Nemesis Prime colours. So we've already had these, I believe, in the normal colours, and now we get it in a tasty black and teal again.
Was it a surprise or a...
I really like that, and that's weird because that's not my kind of thing, but I like that.
Enough to go out in the date with.
I don't know. I've met me. I mean,
dinner and drinks. It's the color scheme. You put anything in that black and teal color scheme, and it tends to look pretty good.
Amber Heard. Amber Heard.
Well, she might be the exception because she's terrifying. Anyway, we'll move on. There is some new products coming from them. So we've got the silhouettes of Orion Pax / Optimus Prime, B127 / Bumblebee, Elita 1, and Megatron. Again, I believe these are from the Transformers 1 film. So there's going to be some
probably...
So they're tying it in already with the animation Transformers 1.
Yeah, apparently.
That's fast move.
Yeah, well, I suppose now, they've got the type with Hasbro, so they probably have had information about this for quite a while as well. So, but yeah, that's all the information we've got so far.
They're popular, aren't they? I'm starting to see them everywhere in terms of not just people collect them, but like online, their advertising budget must have shot up massively because you just see it everywhere. Facebook, like every day I see an advert. I almost got to buy one, so it is working. You've got some, haven't you?
You have a look on that. Yeah.
You might have a play with you later.
Yeah, the AMK Pro Optimus and Megatron, didn't they have like some die cast in them as well? So they're not.
Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah. The whole thing.
Electronics as well. I forgot about that. So I mean, the Yellow Park stuff. If you're not too bothered about the transforming element of it for what's come out so far, then if you're just wanting something that looks great as the figure, they're probably the way to go. And then we have this. So I'll tell you what, this might be a good opportunity for me to share the video. So this is all to do with the Overwatch crossover that's been revealed, announced, whatever you want to say. And there is a little trailer with some awesome animation. We're not going to get copyright striked for showing this, are we?
No, this is fine.
No, I mean the trailer. We'll be fine.
You know what? I play and then ask questions later, and they
I love it. I love your thinking. Right, let's go.
You can stop, eh?
Why has Megatron got two big hands like Fisto?
Yeah, you already did it for me, Joe. Thank you to Jamie for downloading that because I got to. I couldn't.
You're welcome, Andy.
Cool anime.
Really cool anime.
Anyway, these are the skins that you get, which I think just go over existing characters, and you can have an Optimus Prime, a Bumblebee, an RC, and Megatron, kind of. So if you're an Overwatch player, anybody here play Overwatch?
I have. It's good fun. I've played it.
There you go, then.
Yeah. Have you ever played Snake? Have you ever played Snake on the Nokia 3210? It's similar format to Snake.
That sounds too high tech for me, to be honest with you, Paul.
This time with Transformers the theme tune music overlaid on top.
Anyway, so Mark Lotus, good old Mark from Hasbro, has shared photos of the re-release. Well, it's not re-release, is it? The legacy repaint of Metal Hawk, which is now in toy colors, toy accurate colors.
I'm. This is the only time I've seen a repaint, and I'm disappointed in it. I just think they could have added something. It's a repaint. It's just very similar to the original. It just feels like they put the saturation up. I could take a photo and just increase my saturation, and I've got that figure. It's
a lack of detail. You thought they'd put more detail on.
Of course. If Hasbro are watching this, I am willing to lie for any sponsorship and say it's fantastic. Easily.
You're a man of honor. I've always said that, Jamie.
Yeah.
There you go.
He's
So yeah,
good price, my honor. Good price.
this holds no interest for me, just because I don't think there's enough differences to the original one. But for people who didn't buy the original, who haven't been able to find it on clearance somewhere, you can pick it up.
I'm just
Then
surprised they didn't do a secret base mode, where it does the splits and it's on there and go, it's a base.
well, that would be awesome. The other missing link news that we've had this week is that Takara have JT Prime 17 from TFW 2005's pages, who is obviously on the ball with a lot of these leaks and things like that. He's posted about Takara's missing link line and an apparent Sentinel Prime that is going to be coming at some point in the missing link line, which will be an orange and blue repaint of the previous Optimus Prime figure, according to his information. So, does that count?
Andy, can you have a missing link of a figure which wasn't original in the first place?
Completely missing. Found link, maybe. I don't know. But apparently that's what we're getting.
I was kind of hoping they would do a missing link of the Titan Returns version, the orange one, and maybe have even more articulation and better feet.
Yeah, that would work for me, because I like that version. But anyway, apparently this is what we might be getting. So pay attention, we'll find out. And then I think this is the last bit of mainline news, is some DNA add-on kits for Tigerhawk and Silverbolt, which apparently make them, there's new weapons to fill empty spaces, enlarged claws to replace the smaller ones, filled wing gaps, because nobody likes the wing gaps, animation-accurate face mask mode, and improved proportions for Silverbolt, and extended wing length in case his wings weren't big enough for you. So here you can see the changes and differences and make your own decisions as to whether you think it's worth buying these kits.
I thought it looked really cool. I know everyone's not a fan of these, but I do think they actually do. It's like what they would do if they had the full budget almost. That's the thing, right?
It was like a Digimon. No.
It's like a Digimon.
Yeah.
The helmet reminds me of Battlecat.
Yeah, it does.
That's
yeah.
the first thing I
Yeah,
thought.
I get that. Yeah.
It's not bad. That was the first one.
Silverbolt one is when it gets real. That's better. Yeah.
That's good. It does look really good.
Oh, there's such
Put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig, isn't it?
Silverbolt's fantastic now, but you have to buy the pish one just to get the one you want. Third party. Someone was complaining about that in Hasbro, weren't they, the other week? But I don't care about their opinion because they're bald and old. But
hey,
this I'm disappointed.
Anyway, you can buy these. I don't know how much they cost because I don't buy these things, but my understanding is they're usually like 20 quid, maybe.
What's your view, Billy? Do you do aftermarket kits at all, or
on add-on kits specifically, or on these?
Yeah, add-on kits really.
I'm out of them at the moment, but I've always liked add-on kits. I've always liked the idea that we know that the official toy can go so far, but they're limited by constraints that the add-on kits aren't limited by drop tests and things like that.
Do you have
So
an
I
add-on
think
kit for
that's cool.
TFNation, Billy, where you sort of like, I don't know, evolve, go a
We
stage
call them
further
Mates
for like a week?
Brothers. We have loads of them. Just all over. It works.
Are they expensive, like DNA designs?
They are expensive, actually. Yeah.
Cost almost as much as the real thing itself. Right.
You have to feed them at least once a weekend.
Anyway, that was the mainline news. And so we will go into some third-party news.
Roll your sleeves up, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the real shit.
Knock-off news.
Battle this.
It's heavy metal cruncher time as Optimus Prime goes toe-to-toe with Combat Megatron. Prime is one tough dude underneath his hood. He's a transformer missile fire phenomenon. Combat Megatron is combat armed. His mighty mega missiles are slamming. He can mad out more for use mega force, but Combat Optimus is still standing.
Oh, it's finished. Sat here enjoying it and having a drink.
Yeah.
Right.
Quick.
Third-party news. TFCon exclusive. So we've seen a few of these in the last couple of weeks. I mean, we covered some last week. This is another TFCon Toronto exclusive. So this is Make Toys MTRM 06 Moody Blue.
So they've done about 12 of these, and they're always very, very cool, very stylized, very animated. I still think they pose better than anything, just because the angles, whatever pose they're looking, the angles work. They're just not close. They're not good enough away from the Takara version that was there beforehand. They have similar limitations.
I think it's really similar to the Takara.
Fingers pop off, and the legs a little bit don't fold away as cleanly as the Takara MP52 or the Defamation Space. Defamation Space is there. Just for whatever reason, when you post this one, it just looks super. Like if you like the Studio Ox, you'll love this.
$220 Canadian dollars if you.
Wow! Yeah, Jesus Christ! Because the rest of them actually went out, and they're going for now. The re-releases are at about half that price.
Well, there you go. This is a convention exclusive, I suppose. So there you go. Transart Toys.
They did the crowd.
Sorry, I can mute him.
Yeah, please do.
We
can move on now.
They did the crowdfund as well. Solar Flare as well, which I
This
bought.
figure looks really cool for a third-party figure.
Transart Toys Lightning, which is their Silver Bolt, as I'm sure you've all guessed. Yeah, it does look quite cool. There's not a massive amount of esports fans on this. I believe we can
I would
call it the
rather
action
die.
From my expertise and my opinion, I can see that it's rather white. Is it going to be this color, or is it going to
I
have
think
more
the
paint apps?
prototype we're looking at.
No, this is a prototype.
I just said that, but yes.
Sorry, Paul's talking.
God damn you, Paul.
Telling him to listen.
Funny that.
And in doing so, he didn't. The irony is ironic.
Shush, Alexis.
Anyway.
Just
So
just
according
listen.
to Gav, he's from Newcastle, so the mathematics might be slightly off. $220 in Canada is equivalent of £124, or in Gav's
you go.
case, a night out drinking.
That sounds reasonable now.
Yeah, very reasonable.
Oh,
That was the night out in Newcastle.
Use your magic.
One
Calculator
round at the
to tell me
Hilton.
how much is in Philippine dollars?
Gav's such a lightweight.
Doesn't
drinker.
sound more.
Filipino.
I'll tell you what, a night out in Newcastle would be lovely, especially after, say, TFN Minicon convention. Anyway, we'll move on. Phantom Toys Commander from...
Not
is this-
Reading.
New Age.
No,
Well
not Reading.
expensive.
Not Reading. Let's not get into that. Damn
What
Reading.
is the cape thing a reference to? Oh, it's just a cape thing. Okay, ignore me.
Yeah, just a cape. Is there a reason why he had a cape? Was that in a cartoon? I don't
Why
remember.
shouldn't he have a cape? Well, capes are cool.
I'm not saying
Well,
he shouldn't,
you said
Jamie. I'm
we
asking
can't.
why he does. There's a
I
difference.
It's a
think
bold
the term
choice.
coke- I think Cape's a bit down with the kids. Coke
Well,
is
not
what
only
they
does he
do.
have the cape, he looks like he has the power as well. So I have no recollection of what this is raced. It's New Age, obviously, which is releasing their Prime, which is very popular, but with no just a cape and a sword. So-
This is Phantom Toys.
Is it Phantom Toys?
Yeah, it's not New Age. I said that at the start. It's
Really?
Phantom Toys Commander is what they've
Well, in
called
that
it.
case, it's a knockoff of New Age, and they put the cape and the sword in there because that's how they get away with it.
Sword. I mean, it doesn't look bad. It's no.
It's the same as New
Anyway,
Age.
No, the cab
That's
looks
Penguin
nasty. again.
Toys.
I wish
So
I
Andy,
could
this,
be more
Andy, this is
positive.
not farcy. This is knocking off.
A knockoff of a knockoff. Unbelievable. Right, moving on. Pangu Toys have done this, which is a triple
Snake
changing
Eyes.
ninja, but this is supposed to evoke a particular G.I. Joe character, apparently, in its
Good as
design
hell.
and its head sculpt. Anybody want to hazard a guess as to? I mean, you should know it, but
Snake
You
Eyes.
want- Hey, you win a prize, Jamie. You can take it from Alexis's house when you.
I don't
visit
know.
him.
I'd kick my guts up if I had this figure because it just looks like Snake Eyes. If you read the G.I. Joe
What's
comics,
going on there?
Cobra do cyborgs, and it's almost like
comes with,
someone's
like,
ripped Snake Eyes'
Very
head and just shoved it on the
aerodynamic,
cyborg.
But that is what they've done, isn't it? They've basically just taken a Snake Eyes head, stuck it on
Yeah.
a robot, and the robot looks like was it Age of Extinction Hot Rod? The French one. It looks a bit like that to me, anyway. Not this mode, obviously. This is a random wolf mode.
I like
guess.
that mode. That's my favorite mode of all modes.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's quite interesting.
Of all the modes ever.
wasn't
Well,
wasn't there a third party Transformer that was meant to come out with that beast mode and car mode, and now
It
there's
did.
like a
It did. It was a Jaguar. So it was fuck it.
Ravage?
It was. I'm trying to get the name of the company. It came out 1 month ago. Bobby
Yeah.
Scott review. The jet plane mode was really good. The car mode was really good. Ravage was average. like because one of the 3 modes always suffers. The transformation was an absolute fucking nightmare because you can appreciate trying to get down, compress all that into that, and extend that out into a certain way which doesn't look like a block under a plane. It did a really good job. It's a little bit like the Drift did one as well, and they did who's the
Bludgeon.
Bludgeon as well. That one as well. Yeah, Bludgeon as well. And no, so I was gonna say the who was the bounty hunter in Lockdown. Lockdown was another version of that. They did that. Like it condenses down, but the transformation is just like because it looks really good in car mode. And that's the challenge, right? If you want a really clean aesthetic alt mode or rope mode,
the challenge is shutting him up.
That was actually informative and good and precise. That's why Paul didn't move. Paul was pincered to jump on him, but
he's poised, coiled like a cobra. Anyway, then we have already seen a couple of photos of this one. I think when it's on display. So this is the Ocular Max Infinity series. I'm not reading the whole name. Eris Lunacite is what they're calling it, which is a female, basically Galvatron. So yeah, she's very happy. If nothing else, got a smile on her face. Certainly an alternative head sculpt there. But again, who has... Oh, I've pissed her off. Who has the Tarn version? Anybody
I have the original Iris one. Yeah.
So what is the bot actually like? Because it just looks very...
I really liked it. It's really good. I just don't think there's enough difference to me want a sort of a version of Galvatron. But Iris, it looked quite original, unique. It didn't feel like it was a female Tarn. This feels like it's obviously a female Galvatron.
I think they've done a decent job with the colours and everything, haven't they? I mean, it evokes the look. I just don't know. I think Guzzy will be after one of these, obviously. But yeah.
What you're about to see, Guzzy will be this. But yeah.
Well, he collects pretty much all of the female bots. I mean, I think he does. He tries to get all of them at least. Anyway, so he must be on this.
I mean, that was a photo.
It was. Which company is this again, Alexis? This is Gorgo. Their version of
New Age.
New Age.
Yeah, this is Peter. This is New Age. This is New Age comic book version of Slag, which is what Pete's collecting, aren't you, Pete?
Yes.
There is actually some more photos. Coming up later because they then revealed some of the other flavors you're going to be able to get this in. Because repaints.
Look at it. Look at it.
And it comes
Never seen anything like it. Look at it. Beautiful. Look at it. From the back.
I quite like this slug. I've seen some of the photos where they've used the setting of the cartoon as a background, and it's just amazing.
Yeah.
You mean like that one?
Yes.
I just
anyway.
The sludge and Windlocker. Yeah, a wicked. I can't wait. Actually,
Deluxe Baldwin, he's done some amazing photos. He's got the whole collection, hasn't he? All the releases so far. And it's like,
has he? I've not seen those.
But yeah, Deluxe Baldwin. Check out. He's done so many good photos.
Awesome. Right, we'll move on. As I said, there is some more photos of the other versions coming up later, but they were late news. Iron Factory's Viner Kaiser, which is their Leo Kaiser, basically. So this is the combined mode called with colors and looking all finished and looking all Leo Kaiser-y. Again, I think Alexis is collecting these, aren't you, Alexis?
They're released. I am. They're only released 2 at the moment, so looking forward to when they release the most. I was going to say, they've got it like that. Okay, I'll say it'd be nice if that. So TFC did a different version. It's nice that they got. Actually, that's better. I like that. That's pretty cool.
The weapons. The weapons can be. There's different. What's the word?
Configurations.
Versions. Yeah, iterations. You can mess around with them. See.
So in the cartoon, you can fire off like the end spinny things, like almost like Splinter.
I thought.
Do you collect third party, Billy?
I don't. Although I did in the last few months buy something first for third party piece I've bought in forever, and it turned out it was from Alexis. So
wow,
there you go. Small one.
So he probably owes you some money.
Going back to Chug.
Yeah, it's going back to him. Don't get me wrong.
Full refund. Anyway, we'll move on. Sian Culture with Fortress Heidelberg. It's their first test model of their version of Scorponok. So, yeah, this is like legend scale, I guess. Certainly to go with Legends bots. Is that right? Anybody who knows about this stuff, like a third-party expert?
Alexis, I just wanted to ask: do you think that's going to be about the same size as the Fortress Maximus I've got? The third-party Fortress Maximus.
The G1 looking one, which you bought for like £100, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm looking at I'm looking at Ironhide, and Ironhide's about 4.5 inches. If that's his thigh, then it's about 9 inches. So it'll be about 4 centimeters. Sorry, so 27, 30 centimeters.
Because you know why I'm asking? Because everyone's been crying out for a Scorponok that size to match Fortress Maximus, because it would make it the ideal Chug comic version size.
Very true.
We need to find this out. This is perhaps the most important question under the night.
Apparently, the train in the photo is also not been seen before. So
no, that's legendary to go again. So it will be small. It's smaller than the Hasbro one. Look at the size of those claws. Like claw to arm ratio there is huge. Youch.
Big ass claws. What do you want? Right, we'll move on. So that's coming at some point. Another TFCon exclusive, because everybody loves them. And we have seen, again, there's photos of this on display previously. So this is Ocular Max Perfection Series Swift Lane, which obviously forms part of their homage to Ruination. And a lot of people seem to be a bit pissed that this is going to be an exclusive and thus a bit harder to get hold of. Also wondering where the other members are going to come from. Will all the other members be TFCon exclusives over the next few years, maybe?
They should be. Not transformed. Oh, good, it's not.
No. I'd like to think that's a leg.
Or it's I'm going backwards, third party. They used to be good in my day.
It's literally. But yeah, this is it. It's it's that Swindle kind of bot in different colors and with a different name, which I can't remember from last week when somebody in the chat told us what he was called when he was in this version. But yeah, that's a TFCon thing. Again, it will cost you 140 Canadian dollars, which doesn't seem that much, given the exchange rate.
Is that like 60 quid then?
That's pretty good, actually.
We're all a bit confident now, aren't we? Now we know the conversion rate for Canada.
Oh yeah, we're all experts now.
10 minutes ago, you're like, oh, that's an expensive transformer.
Thanks, Gav. Knowledge is power. Again, it's a shame. It's a shame we don't have a certain Beast Wars fan members of the team here for this. This is third-party masterpiece scaled Beast Wars Rampage. It doesn't actually say, and I don't think it says on the photos, does it? Which company this is? But these photos were shared via Weibo. Oh no, this photo I should say was shared via Weibo. There's only one. So yeah, if you like Beast Wars, you like Rampage, there's going to be a masterpiece scale version of it coming from someone. It's this one in the picture. So keep your eyes.
I don't remember which version. I don't recognize it. I thought this was like a Transmetal 2 Transfers. Does anyone recognize this?
It's what, the company or the character? This is Beast Wars Rampage.
Character. Billy, you've won a quiz on Beast Wars. What character is this?
This is Rampage, isn't it? From the whole Protocol Mech saga.
Pretty sure Andy said at this part.
It still
anyway, we're going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it all counts. It always does. And because Alexis told us last week about how excited he is about Devastator and the Constructicons and the many, many different third-party versions of them, here's another one. Spicy Animation, NZ, Mecha Invasion, Giant Legion, Heavy Builder, Scrapper, and Mixmaster. So these are the two members that they've revealed so far.
Catchy.
Arm. Another arm.
Oh,
it's a reverse, isn't it?
Yeah.
So technically, this would be a what's it? Chest of Glass Devastator, because it's a reverse. So the arms, the legs are the arms.
Don't think that's what makes Shattered Glass. It's usually the colours and the fact one's evil and one not
You
just
don't make
Scramble
this
City.
right,
It's more Scramble City, Alexis, than
that-
it is. Yeah, Scramble City is the whole idea. You could be an arm or a leg, like back in the 80s.
I like the style. I think it's quite stylized, isn't it? The one thing which Devastator sometimes does a bit too badly. It's so basic, isn't it? The robot modes and clunky with their legs and stuff. It's all right.
He skipped leg day, don't they?
I don't like his feet. His feet look a bit daft. He looks like he's just got boxes on his feet.
I
knock off the
love his feet. I really love
the best feet you've ever seen. You want more of those feet.
Don't get Paul excited about feet, please. I've got to sleep with him tonight. I mean, next to him. I mean, in the same room as him. I mean, he's in the same house. I mean, it's too moot now.
Please stop talking. Right, Mixmaster, so you can see a bit of their posability.
Did he just say he's going to mute himself?
There was always going to be a day when it would happen. And then that little shot there of them as well.
That's quite cool.
They do look good in these photos. This is what usually sells it to you.
Yeah,
when
that's
you
a
sit
really
there and
good
think, I don't want that. It's like when Jamie does his photos, you think about a figure, I don't want that, and then he does his photos, and you go, bastard, I need to buy that now. And then, because we all know how much we hate repaints, here's Dr. Wu back with their Workshop Extreme Warfare Fire Ladder and Iron Jack, and also Fireball and Gas Smoke. So a couple of 2-packs. We discussed last week how much everybody loves 2-packs, especially when you only want one of the figures.
Yeah,
unless you're a Biggie Smalls fan, then.
Oh, every week you do that joke.
It wasn't funny the first time.
To be fair, it was a little bit funny, and then it got less funny, and then it wasn't funny, and then I found it got funny, and then it went back to not being funny.
Hi, yeah, can I get back to the full, please?
Oh dear. It's gonna be a
look at the little chubby guy.
Yeah,
I like him.
Little Cosmos.
Oh, Cosmos.
These things are teeny.
Oh wow, they are.
Fit in the palm of your hand.
And there's lots of wheeljacks of differing scales. And the little car, little tiny car. Why? I still don't get why people want these. Like, they're too small. They're tiny. Why do you want something that small?
Some people like tiny things. Some people have got no choice to like tiny things.
We're not naming any names. Right.
Alexis.
All right. One of us is. Anyway, there you go. There's that. Dr. Wu. We all love it. And if you don't sing the song, then you're miserable. Right. And then I promised you more flavors of New Age toys. Grogo. I almost call him Grogu then. So we've got the G1 toy deco, G2 deco, and clear plastic version are the new ones, which apparently we haven't seen yet. There's an aircraft just going by somewhere.
That'll be me. I apologize.
Oh, no, it's all right. I thought for a second Alexis had gone for a piss and flushed the toilet.
It happens again.
No, I did that earlier. I'm all right. I might go for poo later, not flush, but that's fine.
Oh,
nice. That's nice. We really didn't need the detail. There's the toy version then. There's the see-through plasticky one. Oh,
no,
plastic.
no.
Why?
What's this about? See, I get the. You got GT, you've got Toon, you've got G1, you've got.
You're the third-party expert.
No, but I don't get the reference.
They're different. They always do these different flavors. They usually do a clear plastic one. They do a G2 one. They do the G1 toy. They do the G1 cartoon. It's just the way it is.
The thing is, though, is that now being in his house, he has Google open next to the.
Oh my god!
Oh, I have seen him use Google. I'll tell. This is a true story. We were at TFNation, one of our epic adventures with Alexis, and Alexis is going, "Oh, I want to show you this clip of Naruto's run," and I went, "That's quite easy." And he got Google up, and he went, "Ninja run," and I went, "No, Naruto run," and then he went, running, and it took him like half an hour to eventually come up with Naruto run. Then he went, "Oh, look, I found it." And that was, oh yeah.
I wasn't going to use your thing. I wanted to work
I'm
around
guessing
it.
he was a few pints deep by that point.
No, I think he was still
Was he
sober.
not? Start of the day. It only gets better. Anyway, there you go. G2 color. Nice jumping shot there. And then, oh yeah, I forgot about this. So this is that, was it Laser Cat? I think that's called. They've done this little chibi version of Predaking that actually has 5 members or 6 members. No, 5 members, and then combines. and apparently lights up if the photo is to be believed. So look, you get a little razor claw.
Oh, Ian will like that.
Adorable.
Ian loves Razorclaw.
Oh, cute.
Little Rampage.
It looks really cool.
It does look very cool. Yeah, it does look very cool. I mean, I don't know if it's that cool.
Happy I can fly.
There's Dive Bomb, who looks a very happy soul. Just look at that look on his face.
Yeah.
He is living his best life. And then you get who's that? Tantrum.
You've literally got two. You got Alexis's Dive Bomb and Jamie's Tantrum. It's like you've got the two.
And then Headstrong, what I think he's just look, he's just showing off the guns. That's you, Pete. That's definitely you. Oh, he doesn't miss the gym, does he? And that's it. That's all of the news that is newsworthy for now.
Was it very excited with third party? Alexis is all talking about what the order from the Chinese.
As is standard, chat. Well done.
Decent choice. House special fried rice with barbecue sauce. We're watching the wrong show.
Or maybe we are. Maybe we're watching the wrong show.
There, curry sauce all the way.
Well,
What
Anyway,
is your house special, Charlie? That's a bit of a personal question, Dave.
anyway, all that news was gold. Thank you very much.
Yeah, chance.
cheers, boys. Shall we talk about our favourite TFN pickups?
We now return to the Transformers.
Billy, as you're our special guest, what to go first? By
Sure.
telling us
So
about
my
your
favourite TFN pickup.
pickup. Yeah.
This is gonna look like I did this on purpose and I didn't, but I'm gonna say not this, but something related to this. So this is my pen holder, but the observant will see it's part of a pre-G1 Omega Supreme. I bought that for 20p when I was like 7 in school. Didn't know what it was, but I was like, it looks Transformery, and I've got 20p. Years later at TFN, I managed to get the full shebang from Nick at ToyFin. So I'm going to go with that.
Yeah. For the uneducated, Billy, can you explain what pre-1 is compared to G1?
Pre-1?
You said pre-1.
He said pre-G1, didn't he?
Yeah, so pre-1, G1.
He never said pre-1.
What's pre-G1?
You're just inventing genres.
It means before G1, Alexis.
Is he on the
Before Transformers, when it wasn't a Transformer? What was it called?
So that's
Sorry, I thought you were asking the question.
Is that Diaclone? Is it Diaclone?
It's not Diaclone. I'd have to get it up in front of me, but I can't because you have my screen, I'm afraid. But
Isn't it?
the chat. Billy, ask the chat.
It's called Omega. It's called a Megatron. I just can't remember the brand name. Grandstand, I think.
Okay, it is part of the original bot though. It's like it is his arm though.
Yeah, it's the claw hand. Like it's compatible with the proper G1 Omega Supreme. It's just in nicer colours, in my opinion.
Do you ever go outside with that claw, Billy? Just have it rolled up in your sleeve?
No, that's where the gun arm comes in. The claw is strictly for private time.
Oh, well, that was a moment. Megatron is
When you're younger, when you used to go to like boot fairs and stuff, like you could go around and there'd be random shit for like 20p and 5p, and you'd be like, "Oh, I've never seen that, but it's definitely a Star Wars gun." And you'd pick it up, and then I used to get the same thing, like that's bit of
exactly what that was. Yeah.
Never seen it, but I know what it is.
Sammy says he had that with Megatron as a kid. Sammy, if yours is missing a claw arm, we should hook up at some point and we can make magic.
For a very reasonable price. Very reasonable. Who wants to go next?
I don't mind going next. So I think my favorite pickup is probably the Friends I made. It's not really. It's Ancestor party
Here we go.
Which I sold now, but it was just a great Transformer. I really loved him. It was the first time I actually spent like over £100 on Transformer, I think, at a convention, and it was just cool because it just started so many conversations and people were interested in him. I think I got it from Kapow, and yeah, I would just remember that. And then when you get home and you do this thing that I love doing, where you take pictures of the toy you've got and you post it on Facebook and went, "Oh, look what I got at Transformers TFNation." And then was like, "Oh, that's a cool toy." You're like, "Yeah, thanks, it is." And you, yeah, that was it. And that was the first time I've done that. That's the first time like buying a toy generated a little bit of interest.
You never
Had
showed
to
it
chat
once
about.
at all in the TFNation.
Did I not?
No, you didn't show it once.
Oh, it's weird. You would definitely remember that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would.
I've done a review with you at
All
TFN.
fucking weekend I was there.
Photographic memory.
There's absolutely no chance he would have forgotten that. No chance.
That's mine.
Lord Liddell.
There seems to be a concern. People asking, is a gas leak at Alexis's house? I don't know. Is there?
That might be related to the height.
What's going on in the chat?
We'll look without talking over people.
My favourite pickup from TFNation happened last year. I sent people on a scouting mission who were setting up the stalls to see if they could look for something which was on the list, and none of the gets actually picked up in this, so they were bloody useless, to be honest. So when I went in myself, and I should have trusted myself because these other people are quite old and have glasses, so I shouldn't have trusted them. But when I went in by myself and just went around, you know, all the different shops and all the different counters, etc., I came across this young chap who was there with his mum and dad, and he was selling all these sort of like collection of Transformers which he'd been picking up and putting together to make complete sets. And I think he was right next to this other stall, which was, I think, more of a sort of had a more of a name and sold vintage toys, and they were really expensive. They were selling stuff at £300, but he was selling the equivalent just as well packaged for like £100. So it was easy to know which stall to sort of look into. And then I saw this Pretender Starscream, which I had been looking for about nearly 3 years, because with eBay there was always something wrong with it and stuff like this, and this one was nice and complete and was majestic. And Melshi gave me advice about how to transform it, because you know the wings and stuff might have a habit of breaking if you do it in a certain way. But yes, I absolutely was delighted to pick this up, and I think it was for just under £100, and it was amazing. You can see from there, you know, fully complete and in excellent condition for its age, which must be about, you know, maybe about 36 years or something like that. I haven't got the exact number. But yeah,
88 or 89.
Yeah, so maybe about 34. But yeah, so there it is. There's Starscream, and I know when a lot of people got the classic Pretenders, they kind of wanted the original figures in their full size and stuff, and you'll get the small, tiny little version, you know, instead. But they're quite cool now. You look back at them now, it's just brilliant. There it was in the original sort of packaging. Obviously, this guy collected these pieces from numerous different people, and sort of he amalgamates them together. And there's the box, and it was just brilliant to get it. And yeah, so that was my best pickup of TFNation. Yeah, I mean, obviously, as Paul said, the greatest pickup at TFNation is the drinks at the Hilton.
Not for those prices.
When you eventually get served, you know, that's the best thing, you know. And obviously, the people who are hanging around, they're good. But yeah, this was the best thing for me at TFNation.
Jamie, I've never seen one of those Pretender Starscreams in that good condition, so you've done very well.
I couldn't believe that, because I gave a list. You had like freaking Graham going, "Oh, give us the list," and I have a look. None of those people picked up on it, and I was like, "Hey, you're useless," you know.
There was a hell of a lot in the hole. To be fair, I think people may have just been overwhelmed.
But what he means is, thank you for looking,
Yes,
even though you didn't notice.
No, I'm telling the truth. Useless, but yeah. Go in there, look for yourself. Don't trust other people. That's the way to do it. That's how to roll with TFNation.
Anyway, cometh the man, cometh the hour. Alexis, what's your favourite TFN pickup?
I've got a confession to make.
Is it Paul?
No, that
it's just because you looked at him just before you said that.
No, I don't think I've actually bought anything ever from TFN.
Hi, everyone.
I genuinely don't. You know what? My TFN pickup is what's the third party roller?
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Mod
Paul.
fans.
Mod fans.
Yeah.
It's third party more pro. Paul bought it. I opened it, and because I opened it, I bought one again from TFNation. But I bought one, and because of that experience at TFN, he made me want to buy one, and I did. So that's mine. And then I shared it with 6 other people before Paul opened it as well, and they all bought one as well. And then we put it back in the box, and Paul didn't know until we all said that.
I do that with your condom.
That's
And my Transformer pickup.
we licked it as well.
That
Just a feet, but-
yeah.
Just the-
You think
Oh, we've done the same, mate. Don't worry about it.
So my pickup fans roller because I definitely don't. I don't go to TFNation for the pickups. I go for TFNation for the experience. But this year,
Oh, wait!
actually,
I have
it
all
back.
seen it, Alexis. I went
This
to
year-
Indie Man Toys.
this year-
Indie Man Toys was celebrating the birthday with Hasbro. I took some innocent photos, and I thought I'll just share with the lads, but to celebrate, I've been out there and I was having a good time. Alexis sees a Transformer he likes and starts going, "What's your price? What's your price?" Freaking full on fanatical, and then he's like, "Go, find out," and then I'm already leaving Nottingham or Norwich, wherever it is, and I end up having to turn around. Well, me and turn around. Obviously, I was a passenger. She judged it
Jamie,
down.
was it
Just go
TFNation?
back to
Jamie,
find
well-
out the price of this
Oh, this wasn't TFNation. Why is it so relevant? It's not TFNation. Save for
because
that
you're
day.
fanatical.
Masterpiece Skids. It was Masterpiece Skids, remember?
Yeah.
He kept asking, what's the price of Masterpiece Skids?
Yeah.
What's the price of...
And I actually
Yeah,
bought
I
it
know
from a
Masterpiece
week
Kids.
later. It's Sandown or something like that.
And you said I'm in the car now. I don't think I get you. Go back and have a look.
Don't you can't believe this pish when he says I'm not interested in the toys.
I mean,
Right,
Um,
next.
so why?
genuinely,
why-
hand on heart, that is the longest anyone's gone. No, I didn't get anything at TFN. I never have done. That is
No
I swear to
pickups.
God.
Only Alexis. I got nothing.
Start talking, Andy. Start talking for the love of God.
I'm
right.
muted. Fuck's sake.
My turn. Right, it's my turn. All right. So, quick honourable shout out because if I don't, then I'll feel bad. End of TFN 2009. We were just doing last sweep of the haul, me and my lovely wife, and she said, "Oh, I want to buy you a bot before we go." And she bought me a G1 hose head that was complete. Just needs some stickers. I need to get around to ordering the stickers for this damn thing, but it's in incredible condition. So that was lovely. But that's not the one I'm going to pick because I've picked that before on one of our best TFN pickup things. So I'm going to go with something from last year that was a bit of a surprise. Again, last sweep of the dealer haul, and I think it was Kapow Toys. They had a load of old movie bots that I hadn't seen, certainly not earlier in the day. And amongst them was one that I already own, that I bought originally, who's up behind me there, which is Movie Incinerator. But I have this weird thing that the bots I really, really like. I love to get in a box to keep them in. And it was a sealed, minty fresh version of it. And I've looked before on like eBay, and they're never up for sale, or never when I've been looking. Not cheap anyway. They're always in America or Australia or someone, so they cost a fortune to get over it. And it was 25 quid. So I snaffled that up straight away, and it still is sealed and will remain this way until the end of time, or I can't
Andy.
get and my wife sells my collection to someone. Yes.
Sorry for interrupting there. It's just Raymond said if you say that TFNation bears are not the best pickup, then you're lying. Do you mean beers, or was it actual bears at TFNation and we
Bears
just
are
missed
great.
out?
I'm pretty sure he means the bears, which are wonderful little things, great collectibles. And if you go
Gav.
to TFN,
You could mean Gav. It could be a pseudo name for Gav.
Gav is a bear, to be fair. Could be him. But yeah, the bears that you can pick up from TFNation, from the lovely TFNation stand and staff, they can put you in the right direction.
So
They're
there's
lovely
TFNation
too.
bears. Cool.
Yeah. I need to get one for my daughter at some point, but I've been saying that for the last 5 years.
And a
And that was me.
dinosaur.
It's my pickup. Oh, and Friends. Yeah, I picked up Friends, but well, yeah, let's move on. You can stop making me big. Actually, I'm lying. You'll never stop making me big. That's right, Gav. He knows it's true. He makes me big. Anyway, that's a different thing. Right.
That
Oh, it's
hose head
gone.
is like that hose head is in like pristine condition.
Oh, it's so, when you get them and like you move them and they've still got a little bit of the creak that you get straight out the box. but that's also why I don't transform it very much. Don't like to break them.
Mine is G1 Hardhead. I just before we went to TFN last year, I was on a bit of a 1987 kick, and I love the Headmasters. I've never owned a G1 Hardhead, and I think it was Spacebridge I got this from. I was walking past, and he had him out on the table, and he was actually, I mean, and he's just talking then about you can still feel the clicks and stuff as if it's just come out of the box. This is, yeah, it's like it's come out of the box. If you ignore that the stickers are like 36 years faded, it's like it's brand new. So yeah, and I can remember fiddling with it in the bar and playing with Hardhead,
as well,
which was.
I thought you got that in the same place I got it. Got Starscream from, not Spacebridge, but that guy. I was sure you got it from there.
Maybe it was.
Yeah, because it was a really good price, and you were jumping for
It
joy.
was. Yeah. It was a really good price. Yeah, maybe it was. They roll into one to a point, don't they? And I think the thing that sold it for me is no, I'm not going to touch it. But the flap sometimes to review with the tech specs is normally, the plastic's really brittle and it's broken around the pin. But this isn't, and yeah, I just love it. This is my favorite TFN pickup, and I've been to a lot of TFNs. Yeah, that's me. Thank you very much.
I need to pick up on something that was in the chat. Bludgeon. The only reason I haven't picked the G1 Bludgeon that was gifted to me by the lovely Mark was because it was a gift, so I didn't actually pay for it myself. So I didn't feel that was fair. But that was a lovely, lovely gesture by Mark. I'm sure he's watching.
Mark,
So,
if you had given that to me, I would have picked it.
He also wouldn't have bitched and moaned about me getting it for 5 years.
And I'll never stop.
I mean,
how many years it is now?
I mean, Mark, if you'd given it to me, I'd have married you. So I've raised both of these chumps.
I think Mark knows he backed the wrong horse, didn't you, Mark?
I think he knows.
It's fine. You can undo it all by bringing a Octopunch complete to TFN. Oh, fine. I don't care about your past, Mark. That's everybody. That's everybody gone, right?
Everyone.
Amazing. Should we move on to full
Is it
play
true,
then?
Pete, that you're really looking forward to Cheetos this year at TFN?
Lynn, these are sex people.
What do you mean?
They're sex swappers. Lynn, this is DEFCON 1. Look. Look. Don't make the same noise as them. Don't think you want to join in.
Can I just respond to that point? All right. TFN is a magical time of year and there's loads of stuff to buy. Please do not waste your money buying me any kind of Cheetor. Original, legacy. Buy yourself something nice. Maybe buy me a beer. Buy yourself a beer. Have a fish finger sandwich.
He's such a nice guy. He's so. Do you know he deserves? He deserves.
All
that
I can
shit.
hear
a Cheetor.
Is more Cheetos.
Yeah.
Do not. Do not.
No one's
Just in
gonna
case
go.
you've never seen it, Billy. There is a plastic. There's a plastic monstrosity in the Legacy Core Class Toyland.
Beast Machines, Cheetor. Love it. Love Beast Machines.
Do you?
It's like twins. They're identical. They really are.
I can sort you out with a job like
You know, Supreme Cheetor got me back into Transformers. I've never owned it. I've never handled it. I had to do a school project on the toy. I was like, that'll do. It says Transformers on it, and it still gets to me to this day that it's like one of the most hated pieces in the
What
whole
age were
world.
you, sir? I ask. What age were you at the time?
Sorry?
What age were you at the time when you?
What age was I? I must have been about 16 because I was doing a project in lower sixth form, I think. So, yeah,
it's very sweet. That's the moment that got you back in Transformers, right?
That is the actual moment, and then I followed that
bad,
up with other
Peter.
stuff, but that was the one.
No.
Peter suddenly is going to like that.
Imagine what kind of life Billy could have gone on to lead if he hadn't have done the project on Supreme Cheetor. If he picked another topic,
Like She-Ra. It would have been like, oh, where would
Exactly.
If I'd done woodwork, it would have been a very different convention.
You know what I love though, Pete? Is like,
Still would have been good.
Pete, what sort of life would you have lived like if Cheetos was still a thing and you were still doing that fucking costume and that fucking crisp advert? You're not. You're with us now.
It's like Oscar
This
Wilde.
is true, and it's another great point, eloquently put.
Brilliant.
It's like Oscar Wilde if someone had dug him up and electrocuted him, trying to get him to say words. Yeah,
And also-
that's Oscar
The
Wilde.
cable guy.
He
Anyway.
has had 2 Foster Shandies.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I think
red
so.
ones.
Oh, you actually see him in real time, just disintegrating in front of you. Like,
Yeah, you can see it in his eyes. His eyes are the biggest tell. His eyes are the biggest tell. Anyway, tonight's foreplay is our own personal favourite TFN moments. Okay, so they can be anything, right?
Lynn, these are sex people.
What do you mean?
They're sex swappers. Lynn, this is DEFCON 1. Look. Look. Don't make the same noise as them. Don't think you want to join in.
again.
I just
Who
got a
would-
feeling of deja vu.
Yeah, no, agree. But we went
So
off on a
much
massive
time had
tangent.
passed.
Yeah.
I was like,
We forgot where we were.
Paul and I just agreeing with all your points there behind the scenes. But
Who should we get him out of the way before he gets more drunk?
Yeah.
Alexis, go first, my friend. Go forth.
Do you know what my favorite recent TFN? I've got two. I've got one personal one and one which involves everyone. And the personal one is when I'm in the bar with all my friends and my wife decides to dive off stage because I'm chasing her, singing a Ring in Glazes, You Be My Hero, and she jumps off the back of the bar, and I'm realizing that's a 10-foot drop, and I, as I do, chase my wife over the back of the bar. Realize
Is this what you wanted, Billy, when you put it together? Is this the kind of moment?
It's a 7 drop.
This is what I've always aimed for. Yeah,
I have to do a superhero landing because that's the only land that's going to actually stack it. And I go, ooh, and I change. Now, my moment with everyone involved is when
this is a mess.
Can you hear me okay? We broke up a little bit there for a second. Can you hear us okay?
Yeah.
Is that
okay.
that story
yes.
about Sam at TFN? Or
Yeah,
just
it
at
was.
a bar?
So my favorite time with all everyone at TFM was probably the one that I remember was when
Tell
Stars
the camera, don't tell me.
was when Shut up. Starscream came on stage and did the splits in the cosplay, and that took cosplay to the next level. Like that performance was phenomenal, and I thought
That
that
was great.
phenomenal, normalized like cosplay and that I thought that
I think it was. I think that Starscream cosplay was amazing because they kept playing music and they were like a professional and just kept going with it.
they were super.
They were brilliant.
Billy, is it true what they
Yeah.
said though? Because I remember they posted about it after the event on Twitter, and they said they'd found out that they're only supposed to have the music play for about 20 or 30 seconds, but they just kept playing it. So she just kept dancing,
Yeah.
or they just kept dancing, I should say. And it
it
was just
it was a massive mistake. Yeah, so
that's right. But it worked
one
brilliantly.
of those
It worked
good
out
mistakes that
fantastically.
people like.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
yeah, there was confusion as to whether the music stopped when the dance stopped, or does the dance stop when the music stopped? And the answer is both of those things, but eventually. So
It was brilliant though.
try and work
Yeah,
on
it
that.
was. It
No,
was
they
amazing.
did really well considering. Like,
Yeah.
imagine if you're
Yeah.
on stage to do a bit and then
The
it
show
just
must
keeps
go
going.
on, as they say, right? And they brought the house down with that. So I thought, it
Yeah.
was, so for me, my son Miles is in musical theatre, right? And like, he does that sort of. He goes on stage, and it's like it's hard to get on stage. It's harder to keep it going, and they did a really good job. And I thought the whole like atmosphere, and everyone bounded around them. So for me, that took it to the next level. So for me, that's my best recent moment. Apart from Stan Bush, because I like Stan Bush.
That's three.
Fuck it.
Because I
Keep
looked
going,
at-
Alexis. Keep going.
I'm looking at that cosplay event, and I must admit, I was a bit worried because I think was it a couple of years back, they gave it to the child who won. So I always thought from now on it has to be a child that wins it, or there's going to be trouble. But that cosplay thing was brilliant, and I think with that Starscream, they had to keep dancing, and they'd done it with such enthusiasm, and they even had a laugh afterwards. And I think the whole audience was in there as well, and it just showed you what a great event it could be, because everyone was just enjoying it. So hats off to TFNation.
Yeah,
hats off to
and
Sosh.
a very good choice, Alexis. All
Thank
right,
you.
Annie's will go next. Jamie.
What is my best thing at TFNation? I have got to say, when Alexis is around. Alexis, now you still listen. No, Alexis, you can piss off. Just walk away. No.
I can hold I can hold that.
I'll be honest. I would say when Alexis is around, whatever we say, whatever we joke about and stuff like that, the guy's got his own atmosphere. He's got his own you know, he's got a presence, and he's got humor, and it's always exciting. If you're in a restaurant or pub and you need another table, you need the table slightly bigger, he'll make it happen. He's got the patter, and it's always in a nice way. Because we all see it when other people try to do these things, and it always turns out sometimes be messy, or the arguments and that. Alexis, he's just got such a good nature and humility with him, and I think that comes across when he just pesters the staff to death to get you that bigger table, because he does it with style. And I wish I could copy it. I've tried to, and I just can't. I just end up shouting. He doesn't. He's just got the patter. He's got the chat, and he makes any event better. And I think, and I don't mean to say that Pete's very dull in comparison, because he's not. I mean, all these people you meet at TFNation are lovely. Peter, Andy, Paul, etc. Alpha, you name it, all lovely people. But I think we all agree that Alexis is not like the glue we want or the glue we need, but it's the glue we're stuck with, which works well. You know, and he just makes the event better. So wherever Alexis is involved, TFNation is good, and I think we all have that. We all have that individual, or that's something special when we go to these type of events that just make it better. And for me, it's Alexis.
As Robert Kopp said, it's a good job he was here to listen to all that.
I've got the same nasty things. No, you're absolutely right. And I remember the first TFN I went to. You were there. We were both in red TFUK t-shirts.
Yes.
And I was seeing with my family. I hadn't spoken to anyone yet. And Alexis just looked and went, "Hi, I'm Alexis. Should we have a beer?" I was like, "Yeah, cool. All right then."
I was really, believe it or not, I was actually super nervous as well, because I didn't know anyone. I genuinely didn't know anyone here. So
well, you never come across as nervous.
Shut up, babe. Sorry, Sam's behind me packing.
I thought you were talking to me.
You're my babe too, don't worry.
Do you want to go next, Paul?
Yeah, cool. Favorite what was it? I did think of this. So many TFN moments, so many classic bits. I think one of them was meeting Alexis, meeting Jamie, Andy, P. Like everyone is just it's just such a good fun. You're just such great people. Like all the people who watch the show and we've met, and Charlie, Dave, like Ian. There's so many of them. That's the best bit. I get genuine excitement. It's like someone's allowed us to go back to school, but we don't have to do the lessons, and you can go there. You get to do cool shit with Transformers, and then get to play with your mates for a bit, which is fantastic. I think my best thing ever, I think it was when I first started going. I didn't really know anyone, and I didn't really know who Peter Spelios was, and I knew kind of who he was, but I didn't know him to recognise him. And I gave a guy a lift from Sheffield. I said, "Look," he said he was struggling to get there. I said, "Oh, don't worry, I'll pick you up on the way. I can drop you off." So I did. So we both went in, unpacked, and he said, "Oh, let's speak Peter Spelios." And he just went over to talk to him. I thought, "Oh, well, that's cool." So I sat down. I didn't know anyone, but I was on my own. Everyone was on this table, all surrounding him, and like he was like some sort of like craftsman, like telling stories and stuff. And he just like shouted at me to come on over and join them. And I was like, "What?" And I was quite far away. He made me come over, made me sit with him, and it's like,
"You shall pass."
He did. It was almost like that, but it sounded good. And
Yeah.
it was nice. And having been to lots of conventions before, and I think this is Transformers as a community, having been to things like Place, and I've said this so many times, like computer enthusiast conventions, Star Trek conventions, the thing that I think we have in our community is that people actively look out for each other and getting people involved and sort of break those barriers down. And he done that night, and then that encourages me to do it, and it sort of spreads. So yeah, that was amazing. That was right at the start as well. So, and Alexis, you're a champion of that as well. Yeah, that's mine. There's too many though. There's millions. Well, there's probably like 100.
It's so nice though, because you listen to everyone's like memories and you go, oh yeah, and it's just it resonates with everybody, doesn't it? Billy, from I don't know which kind of side you see it from, you know, in terms of like the, you know, the organising side, or you know, the Sunday night, you know, when everything's packed down and you're able to chill out a bit. But what's your favourite TFN moment?
It's difficult because, like much of TFN, I don't remember each year. I'm getting better, but like as we have more people involved, you get a bit more time to chill. But a lot of it's a blur. If I had to say like one favorite moment, and bear in mind, I always lie about this when people ask me because I can't remember. I always name somebody else's moments. Like I confess at the end, I wasn't really there, but like my actual favorite moment was probably, it was at the end of the 2022 convention. Yeah, 2022, the first one back after COVID. And there's a photo of us online somewhere. There's just like a group of staff at the end ceremony. Didn't realize we were on camera or anything. Just doing this like big group huddle. And like it was because we didn't know if we were continuing with the show at that point. We know the story and everything. So it was just that moment of, we did it. Like it worked. They all came back. So probably that, to be honest. But otherwise, it's just operational all weekend. It's difficult. So.
And I was just thinking, because we're obviously such big fans of TFNation, and the majority of the people who are watching know what TFNation is. Maybe it's, Peter, you should just explain briefly to people who might never have actually been what really TFNation is. You know, apart from being the biggest Transformers, you know, European event.
Yeah, it depends on how you want to explain that, though, doesn't it? Like, I'd like to hear you guys explain it, because I have to do it in kind of a. I often explain it to people who don't know what Transformers are, so I go with a very base level. It's a big room, da-di-da-di-da. Like, where does it sit for you?
And I think I had a kind of an honorary mention, you know, with my favourite moments. And I think I sum it up best. There's a point last year, I think on the Saturday afternoon, where the bar isn't rammed, but it's kind of half full. And, you know, we're sat on a bench, a table and stuff with our partners and other people, you know, perhaps that have watched the show or that we've met. And I think Alexis and I just started singing the Backstreet Boys. But the volume got louder and louder.
Pete, tell me why.
Paul got a really nice video of everyone singing it, and it was a bit like it's a bit like when you're at work, right? So we're all thrown together because we like the same thing, all right? But we don't really know each other, and so there'll be some people that we cross paths with, and other people that we really, you know, make a bond with and a friendship. And for me, TFN gives you that platform to meet people with a similar interest that you have, that you can at least share it with. But I'm lucky enough that I've met some of the best friends I have in the world. You know, you know, these guys, you know, some other people that are in the chat, and TFN gave me that opportunity. So for me, TFN, I think, is a convention run by people that love what they do. It's not just a profit-making opportunity. It's a genuine, heartfelt experience that gives other people that are like them the opportunity to enjoy what everyone enjoys.
Well said. That was a fantastic answer.
For me.
You can start crying now. If you had a tear come down, that would
I'm not.
awesome.
Andy's going next because I'm not continuing to talk.
Hey, you're making a chat. Pete, we're looking at the chat. The chat's fucking raining now, mate. Jesus Christ, you're making a chat rain.
Takes emotion.
Don't lie. If you could read it.
I remember it's rain. No, that's regular lubricant. Sorry.
But it's like Peter said, the best thing I think when I encountered the staff there was how friendly they were. You know, when it wasn't for show, it was genuinely excitement and friendly, and they were just there to help you. they were there to support you, and that was strange because not all staff at these big conventions are really like that, but they were, and that was amazing. It always just stands out to me, and I know you shouldn't be saying that. I was used to say all conventions like that, but they're not. So yeah,
Billy, do you class it? Is TFN classed as a big convention? What's the sort of like?
On the crew, we always say it's the smallest big convention or the biggest little convention. It's in a weird gap in between, whereby there's basically no other venue that will fit it unless it gets bigger at this stage.
Either you have a cathedral or you don't have a cathedral, right? What are you, a city or not?
Great analogy.
Thank you.
Or here's an idea. When we ask Billy a question, we just wait for a second, fingers on lips, and just let him finish.
Right. Is that all right?
But that is it.
You know where that finger's
really
been. You've just been to the toilet. Jeez.
Said he wasn't going to flush either.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't wash his hands.
I said the same thing.
I know.
Andy.
You were doing
yeah. Sorry, mate. Yeah, go on.
What's your favourite TFN moment?
Oh, well, I'm so glad you asked. Right, you've all mentioned the fact that there's so many moments. So I'm going to go with things that are really kind of, I suppose, personal to me, but might also involve other people in the group. So I'll start off with this. So my first TFN, my tickets were bought for me by my wife as a surprise because I'd never been and I'd always looked on longingly from the distance. And she bought the tickets. We went and I met Thew for the first time with that's two of my children there that not as interested and excited as I was clearly, but there they are. And it was nice to meet Thew, and he was a lovely guy. So that was big for me because I watched so many of his YouTube videos. But that first year I didn't really have the kind of I didn't have the bravery to talk to lots of like people like you guys. I just didn't feel like I knew anyone, but I did get to meet Aaron Archer, one of the TFN, I think it was 2018, might have been 2019. And it was really nice to chat to him because he was behind and involved with lots of Unicron Trilogy stuff. And I got to share the Stan Bush concert with my son. So it was me and him that went to the Stan Bush concert, and he grew up on Transformers. And even though we kind of gone to the dark side of Star Wars and stuff like that more than Transformers, he still really enjoyed it. And it was his first ever live gig, and he's been slowed since, but he will always have to say that his first live gig was Stan Bush at TFN, and it's a bloody good one to have as your first live gig. And after that gig, of course, it was when the first time I met RJ, who was in the chat. So hello to you, RJ. But that's not the moment I'm going for. I've gone full Alexis on this. It's 2019's TFN because I've never experienced anything like it. So we got there, and basically within, I think it was half an hour, I'd arranged to meet Jamie, and we were on the other side of the bar, I think, and I figured out where Jamie was, went over, and he was sat with this tall bloke called Paul, who I'd not met before, but I kind of knew from the groups, TFUK and things, and we all got chatting, and it was the beginning. Eventually Alexis joined us. It was the beginning of one of the most incredible weekends I've ever had, and it was like that opening of the door to the full TFN experience of not only all of the bots and panels and things like that, but the fact that it was friends and drinking, people like you you'd never really met before, and all of a sudden it was like you'd been friends all your lives. And you know, there may have been some alcohol imbibed along the way. We may have had a few drinks, and the bar area was certainly a place we enjoyed ourselves. But it was the beginning of this journey that we went on before we even started doing, you know, a podcast. Well, a podcast as it was at the start, and now, you know, whatever this is. You know, and the thing was, the year before, we brought my kids, and on the way home, my wife made a point of saying, "We're going to go again next year, but next year it's just going to be me and you, because I kind of want to see it through your eyes. I want to see, like, because I was so, even the first year, I was so wowed, and we just had the greatest time. And she's not into stuff like Transformers. She's not into toys and geeky stuff like that. It's not her thing. And she loved the entire weekend. And it just, like I said, you know, we were younger men back then, but we certainly were enjoying ourselves in our matching TFUK t-shirts, me and Lord Liddell there. But it was just an amazing time. And the whole weekend was just, it was just wonderful. I've just not, every TFN is great, but there's something about that first kind of one with all of you guys that was just, it was magical. It was just amazing. And I remember when we all said goodbye at the end. You remember saying goodbye, and Paul took this photo, and I don't know what I'm trying to show him. Is that my pass?
I thought we were
And
going
then-
to the restaurant then. We were going to the
Was it?
restaurant.
Oh,
we were
yeah.
walking an Uber. You
Oh,
were
good.
showing that you got an Uber. That's actually in my bedroom. Lisa keeps saying it's
That's outside. That's outside.
What, that photo?
Yeah. Hey, no.
Which one will I pick tonight?
and then my favorite one, and this is one that we've shared many a time, and I love this photo. We were just peak. Well, we were pretty drunk, but it was just we were all just having such an amazing time. And one of the things that stands out for me is just all of our facial expressions, but mostly it's Paul roaring like Godzilla in the background. I can hear it, and it was just wonderful.
Everyone said I was tall.
Jamie may have had a drink or two. It's hard to tell. It might be Paul's deafening roar. I'm not sure.
We often play a game here, right? Which is where's Paul's hands?
Which hands are Paul's? That's the question.
Where's Paul's hands? Where's Paul's
And
hands?
don't get me wrong, we've had amazing moments at TFN since then, and like last year's TFN was incredible as well. But there's something about that I'll always kind of look back and just think that was the beginning of it. That changed. Well, it did. It changed my life because obviously meeting these guys and then doing this and then becoming in. I was just somebody who was looking from the outside in on the Transformers community, really. Even though I was a massive fan, I didn't really get involved. And now since then, I've been able to get involved in loads of things and do this and meet incredible people and sit here and being able to interview and ask questions to Bob Budiansky and chatted with Simon Furman, and he's bought us a drink, and it's just mad. It's just really mad stuff that you kind of get to do. And it all started with
me a drink. Him and Jeff, you know. And I don't know if I should buy something from him now because then I wouldn't be one up on them anymore, you know. But
morally, you probably should.
I know we're going to ask Billy questions, right? If Billy's back, but I want to ask is there a moment like this? I know we had the moment. Is there a first moment that you had with your team that you remember?
First moment with the team. Well, it's weird for us because like an awful lot of the team were already a team because we had worked at the previous convention, Auto Assembly. I don't know how many of you went to Auto Assemblies.
Alexis did, didn't you?
Yes, so most of us knew each other from them. We got some new people along the way. So there isn't really a first TFN moment as such. But we have versions of that every year when new people join, I suppose.
I think it's
lost somebody.
Sorry, we're losing our internet.
We got
here
into issues. Sorry.
I think when I look at TFNation, I think one character personality we should always mention is Dave Wallace. And the thing I remember just speaking to him, and obviously we hadn't started the Transformers the show or anything like that, and he was just so super friendly and funny and genuinely interested in you. And it wasn't for show, it wasn't superfluous. I didn't even use that word right, but I'm moving on. But you know, it was just like a professional. It was just great, and I think it's those things which mean a lot to me, and I think that was the thing when you actually met people there that were just all they came across genuine. Because obviously I really clicked with Paul and Andy and Alexis, you know, but I mean everyone you're meeting there, and I think each time we went to TFNation, we went for maybe 2 nights, and it's 3 nights. Now it's 4 nights, and it's because we want to have time to say hello to more and different people which we've met along the way in this incredible journey. And I just don't think other conventions have that.
And I think you make a really good point, mate. And you know, I don't think for 1 minute Billy and the team take it for granted, but I think, you know, you guys should know what an impact that convention has, right? You know, everyone thinks there's one Christmas, right? And it's in December.
I mean, yeah, but the thing is, you know, we do as best we can, and hopefully people enjoy it, and that's cool. But ultimately, we're just facilitating the community. I mean, don't take this in the wrong way, but like, if you were all horrible people, we wouldn't do it. It's the community that make it. What the community needs is just events, and not just one event. Like they need whatever the convention is. They just need a focal point or a pub meet or whatever throughout the year. It's just just genuinely such really nice people. And I think the other thing about it for me is that it's because the community, particularly now compared to say when I got into it, like when I became a Transformers fan, everybody looked like me. That's not the case anymore. It's a really diverse community, different walks of life, everything. And I always think
I'm quite handsome, to be honest. I think I represent handsome people out there.
Well, I mean, that is
Brad Pitt and stuff. That kind of level of handsome, not like just your normal Paul handsome, but another elevation.
Full handsome. No, but it's good. It's that's what that is. We do what we can do because we enjoy the community. It's the community that makes it. I'm sure pub meets anywhere across the country are good as well. But yeah, there is something magic when all those different people, walks of life come together.
And I think you probably summed it up. It is magic. You know, it's something we all look forward to massively. But we probably don't want to take too much away from the discussion. So now we've covered all of our favourite moments from TFN.
Are we actually doing pickups? Are we doing pickups for this week?
No.
I haven't done pickups.
No, there's no pickups this week.
No, we're doing next week.
Wait a minute. I have to.
A very special birthday
No, we need
pickup.
pickups.
So we'll do your trade. If no one minds, we could do a birthday pickup for Alexis. And Jamie can do his pickup.
Focus on me.
Yeah, Alexis, do your birthday pickup.
No, that's not a trade. No.
It works for me.
Pickups, mate. Pickups.
Right. Jamie, do you want first, or do you want us to go first?
Actually, birthday boy goes first.
All right. Okay. So, do you want to open your presents for me? They're not wrapped, so you don't have to wait. They're just done.
All right. I got a butter sahi.
Here. I thought that.
That's what he needs. Yeah.
If there's one thing he's not got enough of.
Yeah.
I got a Force Awakens
TIE Fighter pilot.
TIE Fighter pilot, which is funny because
You do like people in black leather, so that's cool.
I do.
Who doesn't?
Oh, Jamie, don't forget that ball tomorrow, right? The mouth one.
Oh, come on.
Come on.
I was bringing you the shield tomorrow. No, you might not.
Why did you open the door for him? Seriously.
I got. Oh, what's this?
That is
no way! You got Yurosaka Doji! Yurosaka
a great anime to watch.
Oh my god!
Howl's Moving Castle or
How'd you find this?
This is the third one in the series.
No, this is the no.
It's great to watch with the kids.
So Yurosaka Doji is
It's really not.
It's a Japanese trilogy anime, right? It's so hard to find it. How'd you find this?
Oh, just no perverts.
It's probably it's dark web.
Ain't that hard.
I've been trying to filter what I put on the screen.
Basically,
I don't know why.
Basically, Yurosaka Doji is like they say the world's divided into three. You've got the humans, the demons, and the cat people. And the first, they say there's three realms, and the when two humans collide, they are demons, and the world destroys itself. Basically, the Deathbringer.
Tell us about it tomorrow.
Oh, this is really cool.
The after
I never watched all of it.
That's okay as well.
There's some important bits he's missing out, and I'm glad he is, because this is a family show.
I've never watched. I always fall asleep through the second one, so which is the cabinet. There's three.
Why can't you fall asleep through the show?
Once he's finished, he falls asleep during the second one.
Go on, what else you got?
You showed me hairspray. There we go.
Oh, I can't believe that.
Is it silver hairspray?
And now they're having their own private conversation. Brilliant.
Right, there's a card. There's a card.
Only live on the internet. TFN special.
All right.
Did you get something for Sam as well, Paul?
Mindfulness classes. Happy birthday, Alexis. I'm pregnant. What? You're pregnant? I mean,
But you did try enough.
All right, and then I've also got a.
I had to get you a Transformer on my collection.
Ultra Magnus. I've only got the. This is the.
It's the KO of the original Iron Factory.
Iron Factory, the oversized one, right?
Yeah.
I say it feels oversized.
Oh, it does.
It does. Oversized Ultra Magnus. So John Grieve.
It's got the biggest Hammer to Ultra Magnus ratio of any Ultra Magnus. That's not fact, but it's just what I believe.
This is the best Ultra Magnus on the time, right? Okay, third party.
Cool. Right, Jamie.
Sorry, I just.
Oh.
I honestly thought we were doing pickups, so I wish I had known that because I spent some time just editing this before the show started and putting Andy's video
We
up.
talked about it
It
3
was just
times in
Cliff
the
Jumper. So basically, this is just Cliff Jumper Prime. It's with the 4-pack, which Andy I thought was going to be talking about today. And I was going to say I had a picture of Cliff Jumper done. And I
I've
think
not even
Andy
opened
can
mine
agree.
yet, Jamie.
Oh,
Not a chance.
even for the plastic window, Cliff Jumper just looks fantastic, doesn't he?
He does.
You know,
I don't even need to
Shoulders-
open mine now. I can just look at your photo.
I don't know if it's me with the transformation, you know, because I had it in car mode, but the shoulders is I would prefer if I had something to clip into or walk into. It just seems to be like friction to keep it up. So as soon as it holds a gun or a weapon, the arms tend to, or the whole shoulder tends to drop, and it kind of annoys me. But apart from that, the figure's quite cool. It's kind of, I hate those sort of things that seem to work on friction. You know, Tarn's kind of like that with these sort of elbow joints. You know, it's just so. But yeah, apart from that, it's an exceptional fun little figure. I mean, obviously, I don't know much about the lore, but looking at that figure, he's so cool. I'm looking forward to wonderful episodes where you will have a fantastic season. I am sure.
You may be
nothing
disappointed.
bad will happen. You know, but yes, Cliff Jumper Prime or Prime Cliff Jumper. It's Prime Cliff Jumper, isn't
Prime
it?
Cliff Jumper, yeah. That's a great photo of what I'm sure will be a great figure. But like, I agree with you. I'm really old school though. I miss good old fashioned ratchets. I like a good click. I like to click into place and make a clicky noise when I move them, just like my knees. Anyway.
Yeah, because there's a certain person in the chat. I didn't want to say something negative about it, but it was the only thing that kind of annoyed me and stuff like that. It was the friction on the arms, shoulders to hold that up. Kind of like me with old age now, but yeah.
Jamie, have you got all of your recent photos on the machine you're on right now?
What's that?
Have you got all of your most recent photos on that machine, or do you just queue up 1 or 2 for the show?
Oh, I have them on that machine, and I have them backed up on another machine as well,
Right.
and another drive. So it's like a 3-part cycle. That way, if one fails and
you got
crash,
redundancy.
I don't lose everything. Yeah.
You put some photos up. It was like 3 weeks ago. I don't know. It was the G1 Yellow Park Optimus.
Optimus Prime, yeah.
That I think you put 2 images up. They are. I'm going to upset people. They're the best TF toy photos I've ever seen. I really hope they were yours because I've just praised you for them. But they're outstanding with like
He'll
a
take that
background. So.
I'll take that.
I just remembered when I saw your background. I was like, I must say that. So.
Well, yeah, I'll definitely take that.
Don't put him up on the screen in case he was wrong.
I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to have to crash whatever we're saying just to make sure.
Get him queued up.
Yeah. Yeah, go on. I can't.
I think people will have to come back to this.
Yeah. You know,
Pete.
You're not coming back to the
said we'll have to come back to
I
this.
thought you said go on share it.
No, we're not going to
share it. I was like, those were the YOLO part.
Have you got
I've just derailed, but it had to be done.
Yeah, it's fine. No, we did well. It was like an hour and 23 on topic. And we only just started to diverge now. Have you got them, Jamie? Or we,
you mean that one?
Oh, it's from that set. I haven't seen that one, but it's one from that set. Yes, excellent.
All right, so got another one which I'll have to put up because of Yellow Park. Yeah, let's see, and share. So this one.
It's not on the one. Yeah,
I'm beginning to think it's that.
It's that set anyway. It's just outstanding. And it's like I say, like lots of great photographers in the community. So don't want to upset anyone, but I think it was obviously the posing and the lighting and stuff, but like the moodiness of that background with the rocks as well. It just bang. It was just one of them where it jumped out at me on the screen. I was like, I need to go and look at the watermark and see who did this. So,
and that was
the
last
one. And it was
one,
you,
yeah.
son. So there you go. Oh, very nice.
So, yeah.
I actually took that one. That's not Jamie's. That's mine.
I can back Paul up. I was there. It was earlier today, so
we are exceptionally lucky to have the talent that Jamie has. in the group.
I know.
Sorry, it's the silent J. It's pronounced Paul.
It's okay. People don't want to talk about any pickups they've had in the last 6 months or birthday presents or anything. Should we get back on? Should we get back on topic? Are we ready?
No, you're the host, Paul. I think rather-
Well, it's like people now.
messed it up.
Now, do you know? Do you know now what it's like every week?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I never. I did appreciate you, and now I appreciate you more. You are the best of us. You are the best of us.
And the worst.
Shall we have a bloody discussion about this bloody convention?
There's a good
There's a magical place.
We now return to the Transformers.
I'm impressing myself.
You fucking late, mate.
As we are 4 weeks away from second Christmas, as it's known in this house, Christmas in August, we were very lucky to have Billy join us this evening. How is the prep for 4 weeks going?
It's good. It's good. It has exploded in busyness this week. So we have our own plans throughout throughout a couple of years, I guess, but throughout a period of time where we're putting a show together. I always describe it to the crew as there's an element of, to steal a phrase from like investing or whatever, there's an element of opportunity cost when you're putting a schedule together. So it's like you can put a schedule together on day one and have a really relaxed year, and that's great. But if something really cool comes up at the last minute, you've missed it because you didn't leave any room for yourself in the schedule. So that's something that I work a lot with Dave Wallace on. So we try and always keep things relevant and keep that opportunity space there in case stuff comes up. And quite a few things have just come up suddenly, particularly in the last week. So yeah, it's quite exciting. Don't know if they'll all come off. You never do with these things with different parties and stuff. But yeah, it's going well. Looking forward to it.
Should we take a minute, Andy, to go through the guests and stuff that TFNation have laid on for us this year?
We certainly can. We can have a little looky-see. So, David Kay, many people will know, and he's been a fantastic guest in the past. I'm sure he's how many TFNs has he done?
This will be his first TFN.
Is it?
Wow.
He has been to the UK in the past, but and that gives you an idea of how long it's been as well. So this will be his first one. He was a real get. He's someone who you can celebrate 40 years just with him, to be quite honest. The amount of work he's done over the years. And that's always a consideration. We were very keen when we started planning this that although a lot of us may be of a certain age and be fans of Generation 1, it's not the anniversary of G1 that we're celebrating, although that's important. It's the 40th birthday of everything. We really wanted to appeal to as many people as possible. And David definitely brings that.
He's got a cheeky smile.
He has.
No,
Greg Berger, who's another kind of big name within the Transformers community, isn't he?
Yeah, so just to nullify everything I just said, in celebration of Generation 1. But Greg's wonderful. Greg's one of those people who, if all conventions ended tomorrow, like I'd really hope I'd keep in touch with Greg. He's genuinely just such a nice person and a great professional to work with. And him, Grimlock. So yeah.
He's just a nice guy, isn't he?
We're great professionals to work with as well tonight, Billy.
Well, absolutely. You know, all four of you.
We should probably mention that he's coming across the coast, and he's sponsored by Roberson. So thank you very much.
He is. We're very pleased with that. Thank you.
I'm a Roberson collector, which is much higher than your masterpiece collector.
Anyway, moving on.
I don't like to talk about it, but we're much better.
James Roberts, who I have met at one of the previous TFNs and had a good chat with him, and he's seemed a lovely guy as well.
Yeah, he's lovely. He's got we haven't announced it yet. We'll announce it soon, I'm sure. But he's got a cool panel planned for this year, which I'm sure all fans of More Than Meets the Eye will want to see. So yeah, it's going to be cool. Always good to see James.
Obviously, it wouldn't be TFN without Jim Sorensen there.
Right, I've got to pull you people up at this point, right? Okay, it's a carousel. Like we don't upload the wrong images; they circle. Like you can find the up to date one. Come on, prep work, please.
You know what? I couldn't for this one, honestly.
I'll check it. It might
so unprofessional, Andy. You embarrass us.
You're right. I'm sorry. I spent all those hours working on this, and then got pulled.
He will be flogged
He's still there.
offline.
He's still there, Billy, isn't he? He's there.
He is there. That's right. And to be fair, you have picked one that doesn't have the year stamped on
Exactly.
it. So I could have let it go, but that's me. No, Jim's great. Always fantastic to have Jim along. Jim's someone who really contributes a lot by the very nature of what he does. I don't like the term, but he's effectively a super fan, isn't he? Who's gone on to become a professional. So always fantastic to have Jim along.
Now, I always worry about the pronunciation of the surname here. Is it John Paul Bove or John Paul Bove?
Spot on. As far as I'm aware, anyway. Maybe I've said it wrong all these years.
All these years, just saying it wrong.
Yeah. Fortunately, this year, I mean, it's never happened before, but we're going to have both John and Paul Bove in the same room, which is mind blowing to me. So, I mean, that's a sandwich I want to be a part of, and I'm sure you will.
After hours, he's kicked in.
And Catherine Cavari, I think I've said that right as well.
You have. It's one of those. Catherine will almost certainly call herself Cat during the weekend, but we always announce people's names properly so they can be found
because
online.
I'm like Lord Jamie, I understand that.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Just wait till you get your wristbands, you'll see. But actually, you think I'm joking, but speak with Liam at Triple Takeover at some point because he has a different name every year. I have fun with his wristbands. A little behind the scenes thing. When we first got together, so we have a planning meeting in an undisclosed location outside of Las Vegas every year. Everyone on Earth is outside of Las Vegas, so I can keep saying that as long as it's not in Las Vegas. We made 2 guest lists for this year, depending on different eventualities, which I won't necessarily go into. Kat was top of both guest lists. She was like a really important piece of the puzzle for this year. So I'm thrilled that Kat's coming along. I think she's going to add something really unique. So yeah,
I think it's an awesome choice because Earthspark has been a fantastic series in the Transformers community and worldwide recognition as well, especially when you look into the toys in Japan. Takara putting in a lot of effort to make the toys very much like the cartoon.
It's something which I think for a long time, a lot of people in the fandom, especially with the G1 resurgence, have said, yeah, we like this, but we'd love to see something different, something akin to when the Unicron trilogy came along or something like that. And I think it definitely ticks that box. And also from us on an event planning side of things, it's quite rare that you're able to get someone who's currently in the show that's on television.
Yeah.
So that was a big deal for us. And she's done some really big work. So yeah, I'm thrilled that she was so willing to come over.
So, Billy, just before we move on to the rest of the guests, you say, at your secret planning location outside of Las Vegas, and you're talking about you've got 2 lists.
Yeah.
Can you give us a bit of an insight as to what goes into working out what guests you can get, when you can get them, who you can get? What does that look like?
Absolutely. So before you get into the who, the where, and the why, it's really a structural thing. So the way we look at it is we know that a convention in the UK, just by its very nature, has to pay a lot more than a convention based in Las Vegas to get guests who live in Las Vegas, Los Angeles. Sorry, it's just air travel. That's what it is. So that sets the budget almost, and we're like, okay, so we reckon we can push to X amount of international guests. What do we want within that bracket? We definitely want some voice actors because we know they're popular, but we also want someone like Michael Charles Hill. Internally, it's a role that we call the Uncle Bob role, because the ambition for us was always to get Bob Budiansky over at some point. It's a creative, behind-the-scenes kind of role.
He's amazing.
We did that, but we still honor him, if you like, by calling it the Uncle Bob role internally. So we always want at least one person in that role. And then thereafter, you're getting into your domestic guests. So it's a case of where people are working presently. So you see a lot of guests do come in repeat years. Obviously, with them being domestic, it's helpful. But also, they've had such a long run on the comic books as well. So that's kind of where we start, is with the structure. And then what we try to do is we try to have a blend between the guests of, this is going to sound really horrible and corporate. I don't mean it to sound this way, but we need somebody who's going to guarantee a certain number of tickets, because ultimately the show needs to happen. So you need, if you like, a needle mover type guest. We always want at least one guest who we would refer to as a bar guest. You can't force somebody to go and socialize in the bar, but that's what we're looking for with guests. And that's it. And they don't always fit neatly into those categories. Some years we have 3 guests and they're just 3 really sociable voice actors, and we're like, we're going to bring them all. Like it's going to be a good mix. So it's like that. It's kind of like baking a cake almost, or making a meal. And sometimes one ingredient will reflect upon another. So I know that there are some fantastic potential guests who we haven't been able to invite this year because we'd already filled that role. So it's like, okay, well, that role's taken. We don't want too much of that. We want to do something for toy fans. We want to do something for cartoon fans. All of these different kind of things. So hopefully we get the balance right. There's no right answer, I guess, but that's kind of the thinking that goes.
I was going to say, when you said no right answer, I was going to say Megan Fox. I don't know. Is that always a right answer?
That's what they call a monetary answer, and it's quite binary in nature, unfortunately.
So Michael Charles Hill is a writer and producer.
Sorry, Andy. Probably now's a good time to invite the chat. Chat guys. If you've got any questions you want to ask Billy, we'll do our best to try and get through as many as possible. But stick them in the chat, and we'll do what we can. I won't interrupt you again. I promise.
I haven't seen Alexis for an hour now.
You're all on your own. He's fallen asleep somewhere. Oh, he's gone for pizza. Nick Roach. He's going to be there again. He's a lovely guy as well. He's another one who's fun and very excitable. So that should be fun, if nothing else. Rebecca Nolte, have I said that right?
Yeah, Rebecca Nolte, first TFNation, coming over from Ireland. She worked on the Last Spot Standing book with Nick, actually. So yeah, it's always good to welcome new people along. Looking forward to it.
I saw a post about it as well. She seemed genuinely excited herself that she was coming across for it. So that's always nice to see when the guests actually seem excited for it as well.
Absolutely. We tried before. Again, as I say, sometimes people are in mind and they don't quite work out for whatever reason. There was a scheduling conflict last time, so she was even happier to be able to make it happen this time. So hopefully she has a nice time.
Brilliant.
This is for Billy. This is coming from Sammy here. He's saying, sorry, this has been asked more than a dozen times. Would there be any chance to still have Peter Cullen as a guest in the future?
It's definitely nothing I would ever rule out. I have to be realistic and say, look, he's not getting younger, and there will probably come a point where these big plane journeys are something that he doesn't want to do. And that's not specifically even saying it about him. There are several actors in that category at the moment whereby the flight is an issue. I wouldn't rule it out completely, but I wouldn't want to feel... One of the things that I never do is tease guests. I'll tease anything in the world, but not guests, because guests are people. So I always give people a dead straight answer when it comes to guests. There are no plans right now. We are still in touch. We have a good relationship. We obviously almost did it that one time. Hey, things happen. If we can make it happen, we will, but we just have to be realistic about it.
So we've got Simon Furman, who's going to be there, another of the godfathers of Transformers, certainly from the comic books anyway. Alex Milne, who's going to be there again, another fantastic artist.
Yeah, not been for quite a few years, Alex. So if you're into artwork, his queue is going to be huge. So he'll have pre-orders open soon. Get in there quick.
Andrew Wildman's going to be there as well, another fantastic Transformers writer and artist.
Yeah, so much of my childhood with that drawing.
Ed Pirrie, lovely guy. Got to chat to him at the last Minicon a little bit as well. Yeah,
Ed's fantastic, really is.
And Jack Lawrence is also there, another fantastic artist as well. I'm sure he'll have a long queue at his table as well.
Yeah, the Henchis artist as well.
Agreed.
Pete, you can swap tips with him.
No. Jack Lawrence is well out of my league.
The only time I've spoken
Definitely.
with Jack Lawrence on social media is about G.I. Joe figures, which is funny.
We'll chat to him about that. There you go.
Yeah.
Right, so we're about to go on to something else, Pete?
Something an exclusive, if you will, for TF the show.
Something revealing.
Very revealing. Andy, would you like to show what we've got?
Well, not so much what we've got, but what TFN have for the people this year. So, Billy, this might be your cue.
Sure thing. So, earlier this year, the first 3 episodes of Transformers were in movies all around the world just for a couple of days. In America in particular, you will see these fabulous items before you were on sale in cinemas. These are the 40th anniversary branded popcorn buckets and cups. And thanks to what I have to say is Mapes Brothers' ingenuity, they will be available at TFNation this year. They'll be available more specifically before TFNation. We'll get them up on the website so people can reserve them. There are obviously not massive quantities of these. They're not limitless. I think these will end up being quite popular. At the end of the day, they're official branded stuff. And I don't want to go down the road of saying definitively that they're a UK exclusive, but I don't think anybody else has got them. So yeah, we're going to have these. I'm quite excited by them. I want one on my desk right now, quite frankly.
Well,
They're glorious.
You have,
Absolutely glorious.
well, you have popcorn to put into them.
We sadly will not have popcorn. However, if you want to speak to our friends at the Hilton Metropole, they do have a popcorn machine. I don't know if it'll be in operation, but they do have one, so I can ask them about it.
Mind blowing. This is like the best thing since I discovered to do cocktails. This is wow.
If we could time that to work on movie night on the Friday.
That is the exclusive.
Oh,
that is
that's
the
it.
exclusive. Popcorn machines.
I feel like this should be kept mint in box, or not in box, just sticky popcorn in the terrible.
Mint in hand. We don't know. They've literally just landed with us today. We've not announced them previously because we wanted to make sure they got here. So pricing and all of that jazz, we'll get that information up as soon as we've done the maths basically and worked it out. But yeah, that's it. Keep an eye on the website. We'll announce them soon. I really like them, so don't buy too many because I want some.
It's just the artwork, isn't it? It just
it is. It's you know what sold me on it? It's there's an image there of the back of one of those pieces. It's not that one. Obviously, I should take that back slightly. These are new images that the Mapes brothers got for me just today with these things landing. But I saw their preview images. When I saw that was the first time I realized stupidly, oh, they're different pieces of artwork. It's not just the same box art on both of them. They're different. So, to me, they're a must-have. That's not me trying to shill it. That's me just as a fan saying,
so,
I think it's awesome because I think in the UK, we always sometimes seem to miss out on these exclusives when there's an event at the cinema or something like that. We just seem to get nothing.
It's weird, because I went on eBay right after after I realized I couldn't buy them before we knew we had any chance. And I'm on eBay and they're like, when you factor in postage, like you've got people selling them for like £69 plus £30 postage. It's like
Wow.
69 quid. So don't moan at me when they're 68 quid, basically.
It's still cheaper. You don't have to pay postage.
They'll be very reasonably priced, but yeah.
Brilliant.
So that's it. I'm quite excited by that.
And then I think
we have this. So this is seeing as you folks have been so kind as to invite me on. I wanted to give you this. This is our first panel reveal for this year. I'm not going to give you too much information about it, just because Pete knows this. We're actually working on a video to put up to really explain to people what this is. If you're someone who's been to TFNation before and you've seen, I don't want to make people think it is something that it isn't. But if you saw, for instance, the thing we did with the movie, where we built extra parts onto it, imagine that. So basically, we found something, and it's something from the archives that we think is cool, but which was not necessarily in a format where we could put it out as a panel. We therefore got in touch with some of our friends, spearheaded by Chris McFeely, by Dave Wallace from TFN, Andrew Turnbull from TFN, with a lot of work from Chris Carter at TFN, and with really the starting point, the Mapes brothers again at TFN. They've kind of all put their skills together, and hopefully we'll have a little presentation of sorts that people will enjoy. That's about as much as I can say right now, because I don't want to make it sound bigger than it is, and I don't want to mislead people and anything like that. But I mean, the clue's there in the title anyway. So yeah, have a think about it, and this will be something that you can hopefully enjoy at ClubCon this year.
Fantastic.
That was going to be my next question. Could you at least tell us when you were thinking
ClubCon?
But obviously Saturday night.
Saturday night.
So,
yes.
Which probably is a great segue into this. So if you're watching the show and you haven't got a ticket for TFN yet, we won't hold it against you, but we will give you the opportunity to take a look at, you know, the tickets that are available and the prices and what you get for you know, your ticket. So in recent times, probably since the for the online stuff, you changed the ticketing structure, didn't you, Billy, to perhaps make it a little bit more flexible for people, and you know, so they didn't have to, you know, commit to a whole weekend, etc. So do you want to tell us a little bit about, you know, the thinking behind that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we previously had a weekend ticket, which was an all-in-one ticket. And it's strange, you know, because to this day, people still come to me and say, can we have the weekend ticket back? And I say, well, you could, but it would still be at today's prices, because the hotel still costs what it costs. Like I can't take away hotel costs. And they often come back to me and say, we don't mind the cost. We just want not the flexibility. We want the convenience of a weekend ticket. And I'm like, that's a thing we could offer, but then you lose the flexibility to say, I don't want to go to Sunday because I'm in work or whatever. So we've kept this structure since then. And another reason for it, being completely honest, is that we had people every year coming to us saying, I'm not coming because I don't want to have to buy all of that stuff. So we've got this position now whereby, and they're a bit hard to see there, but there are also, for anyone who's not seen this page before, there are also like discount rates for different age groups and things like that. Children are free.
Kids are free.
Anyway. Yeah, kids, specifically with children. It's when we started TFN, the Mapes brothers were very. I've mentioned them a lot tonight. I apologize, Mapes brothers. They were very keen. They won't mind me telling this story. So they came from a family which wasn't your typical 2 parents, 2 children family. they have a sister, and of course 17,000 other mates brothers, but we won't mention those here. But that meant growing up in the 80s, it was really difficult for them because everywhere had family passes, which were 2 adults and 2 children. So they missed out on going to like theme parks and stuff a lot of the time because it just wasn't affordable for people. So since day one, we've always had 3 kids for every adult. Is fine by us as long as you're looking after them, and hopefully that helps.
I think that's amazing, especially the age from 0 to 15, because working in education, especially if you think about English heritage and stuff, there's lots of things to do, but the price a lot of families out of it, especially sort of working class inner city families who don't have the transport to get there to start with, and they can't take advantage of a lot of these sort of offers, especially if they have the odd number of children. So I always figured, when I first said about TFNation and we started to talk about TFNation, to me the biggest selling point is this sort of children go free. It just, for everyone, it just takes it out of the equation. It doesn't make it complicated, and that age of 15 I think is bliss, because I think the trouble is in Scotland, I remember as soon as I started to hit 15, and as soon as you hit 16, if you're going to university, then suddenly you're treated as an adult, and suddenly adult prices, and it was just, it just destroys a lot of opportunities, which are, groundbreaking and can sort of make your life better, and to lose out in that is just bad planning. So to see something like this in TFNation is amazing.
No, I appreciate that. I think that's a really good point you've made. And, particularly when you mentioned that the switch over to when you get to 16 there, the thought behind that was, we love Transformers, but we love it because it was aimed at us when we were at a certain age. And we want that next generation of Transformers fans to not be priced out of coming to a convention. So that's why we have the stepped pricing, if you will. So hopefully somebody will come along, maybe when they're 15 with their parents. They'll then come along on their own the next year because they're older and they're allowed to, they're happy, at a reduced rate. And then if they're still happy 2 years later, they can come as an adult too if they want. And we do see that attendee journey, if you will, not to sound too corporate, but that is a thing that happens. So while I was talking there before, by the way, I apologize. I saw a comment pop up. Somebody had asked, I think the question was, I'm coming with my family. Is Sunday going to be a quieter day? Yeah, so Sunday is. So I say this quite often when people email in and they're not sure. If you're not super, super, super enthusiastic about getting like the newest toy, don't buy the Saturday early access pass. And I know I shouldn't say that, but it's true. Just don't buy the regular pass or buy the Sunday pass. Also, it's well documented. I'm somebody who suffered with anxiety a lot over the years. It never really goes away, but I'm a lot better than I was. If you're somebody who suffers with anxiety, Sunday is, again, it's a really chilled out day because you don't have the really big queue of people trying to get the newest toys first thing Saturday morning. So if you want to come along, I think that poster may have said they had a couple of kids with them. I'm not sure. But if you're thinking, I'm going to try it out for one day, absolutely. The only caveat to that, I would say, is we're going to be releasing our schedule soon. Just have a look at that first and make sure there's nothing on a different day that you really want to go to. But yeah, that's my kind of view on that.
Cracking.
Echo.
So, yeah. Why's that? So really, to see the golden nugget of the panel that we've just announced, or Billy's just announced on behalf of TFN, you need to pick up that ClubCon ticket on Saturday night. It's £15 for the Saturday night. It includes a cosplay competition that gets better and better and better every year. I think last year we had a charity raffle where there was some exceptional fixed charity auction, that people were able to bid on, and I mean Jim Sorensen ran the auction, didn't he? And then we've had script readings in the past. It's been a highlight of the weekend for everybody for many a year. So listen, if you've got a Saturday ticket, you're staying the night, do yourself a favour, get the ClubCon ticket, £15, really reasonably priced. If you go, great. You'll see something, I think, pretty wicked.
Fingers crossed.
Definitely.
Can I do a question
Well,
about the guests who arrive? Really, so things always like
Okay.
so many great guests and stuff, but who are the ones that were like over the years you've had them and you've been like, oh my god, they were amazing, like so cool and chatty, and like some of these people you must have met for the first time who really blew you away. It's just like, oh, we would have them every single year if we could.
Oh, dearie me. There are lots of them. I see it from a different point of view as well, though. Like, I'm always really pleased with the guests who are competent travelers. Like, if you can get yourself here without asking me too many questions, I'm there to answer the questions. It's fine. But if you can do it yourself, you are my favorite, and you're coming back. But no, God, who have we had? I really liked when Nicole de Buc and her husband Brian Offland came along. They were really nice, really enthusiastic about the event. David Sobolov's always brilliant. Sue Blue last year, I almost had to ban her from TFNation, to be honest, because like we knew that she was going to be particularly busy. People would want to meet Sue Blue. She'd never been to the UK for a convention before. And so we'd planned her timings exactly. And the fear was that people would derail her, like in the corridors and stuff, in a nice way. Like no one's going to get in trouble for it, but she needs to be on stage at a certain time. No, Sue derailed us in the corridors. She wouldn't let anyone go past. She actively went over to people who were minding their own business to chat with them. So she was brilliant. But it was like, wow, okay, that's new. So yeah, it's very rare that we have anyone who isn't absolutely wonderful, to be honest. So I could say this all day, but there are a few that I think of immediately.
Oh, that's cool. Humans generally are all right, aren't they?
I remember after the Stan Bush concert, and him and the band were in the bar afterwards and stuff. He just had a stream of people, coming up to him, and the guy didn't stop smiling the whole time. He was posing for photos, he was talking to people, and it was a good couple of hours. And it was just like, do you know what? You love what you do, don't you?
Do you know what?
You love
the
it.
thing with Stan, and this is no knock on any other show. We've all got our own parameters we have to work with him. But like, he's almost, this sounds negative, he's almost overexposed to an extent at some of the US shows. Because if you're getting Stan Bush along, in my head, you want the concert, you want the full experience. And that's not something that Con's able to provide every year. So Stan will quite often be at shows, but not be invited to perform. So for him to come over here and have like free reign on his set, basically, he had a really good time. That for me is like a personal highlight. I really enjoyed that and seeing it come together.
Billy, what's the band?
That's a wristband.
Yeah, what's it? What's it mean to you? Is it any sentimental meaning at all? Is it just a band, or?
I have a long time.
You have one or two, or
let him answer it now, Alexis. Let him answer it
every fucking time.
It's a mouse support. I have a broken hand, so.
Okay.
I mean, it does nothing. It is literally just a wristband, but it's just because it feels weird when my wrist is on a desk. Since
it's stripy as well.
I do one.
It is stripy, yeah. It is stripy.
So it's on brand.
Is that significant in any way?
Billy stripes. So yeah, I'd say it probably is.
It is stripy. It's almost as if people buy me stripy things these days. Who knows?
I need to ask, where did the stripes come from? How did the stripes start?
There are so many backstories to the stripes. Like, I don't know. I feel like I should start lying about it and just see how far I can go with it.
Loads of different versions.
There are. People tell me where they came from now. Some people come and tell me that it's one shirt. I can prove now, look, right, it's two shirts, right? People come and tell me that it's one shirt and I have it specially made. It's odd. the honest answer is a combination of two things. Firstly, I had terrible dry skin on my elbows, which I didn't like to show off. And secondly, when we worked at Auto Assembly, we didn't have the budget for more than one staff t-shirt per staff member, and that gets smelly after a weekend of running around. So we all went with the whole undershirts. I went with long stripy ones, and I don't know why, it just kind of stuck. So yeah, that's it.
I'm not going to lie, mate. I was expecting a little bit more than that.
Yeah,
That's it.
I was
That's
expecting
it.
a saga.
Yeah,
There's
but,
no
you know,
saga.
Transforms the show is always going to ask you questions that other people are too scared.
The hard-hitting
The hard-hitting.
Yeah.
When we see you at TFN, we expect a
journalism.
more exciting answer.
Respect the truth
Make
after
up
a
some
couple
lies.
of drinks. This is the real reason, lads. And they're ribbed. No, yeah.
Yeah,
I've got,
barcode battlers. That's it.
A kind of it's a kind of a wish question.
You
That
used
if
to
you,
Peter. You're
I was
right
just
back
into the abyss.
That'll get them just looking another direction.
Look into the skies. Where, if budget was no option, or no barrier, sorry, if there were no challenges, where would you take TFN in terms of its size,
Reading.
maybe its performance? Bracknell was even better.
I know
To be fair.
Bracknell.
Yeah, we got a hotel and everything.
You got bloody Reading.
But in terms of, obviously, you know, you're able to put on a convention that's driven by the attendees and, you know, the budget that provides you and stuff, and you have to work within those confines. But if budget wasn't an option, what would that look like? What would Utopia look like for TFN?
So this is going to be part real, and well, it's all going to be real, but it's going to be part what I actually think and part a bit disappointing. The disappointing part, to get it out of the way, I always tell people, and not everyone will agree with me, that if I had limitless budget, I wouldn't just hire every actor to come at once. Because like everybody always asks that, and it's like, yeah, but then what do you do next year? Because like we're always quite keen on we don't. And by the way, the answer to that is you have limitless budget, you do it again next year. But like we're always quite keen that we never want to try and get bigger year on year in terms of a bigger presentation or whatever. It's like, what can we do that's different? That's why, for instance, you might not have a script reading every year or a concert every year or whatever. So I wouldn't do that. That's the negative side. The positive side, if it was purely me, and this is not necessarily what the whole team would do, but I would like to do more musical stuff. It's not often that we're able to do that for logistical reasons. That would be brilliant. I'd love it if that could be something we did more often. In some capacity, and that's not a hint at anything. There's nothing in the works right now, but that's what I'd love to. I'd love to do like Transformers the concert, you know, like just bang, just like a festival right through.
Just come to the bar, Billy, when Alexis has his speakers. It's very similar.
It's not just Backstreet Boys, like
no, oh no, there's a whole wide mix. Mostly boy bands, if we're being honest.
Whoa! Hang on.
There's a bit of Enya.
There's no other boy band apart from the Backstreet Boys, all right?
There's a lot of interpretive dance, and that's what you want from a convention.
There'll be even more with Motion City there again this year as well. So interpretive dance all over the shop.
Absolutely.
I think we are rapidly approaching the end of our time this evening. If anybody has got a question they need to or want to ask Billy before we come offline, now is the time to ask.
I've got two
questions.
A question.
Oh, sorry, go on, Paul.
So one, Alexis keeps saying, can he do his thing? Apparently you know about it. The other thing is, I just had a question, like when it first took off, like obviously the first couple of conventions you've done as TFN, like there must have been a point where you've gone, oh, we sold loads, we sold loads of tickets. Like at what point did you go, shit, this is actually going to be a massive convention?
Honestly, we never really did until a few years in. Like, I remember the very first convention, the very first day when the ticket sales were coming in, because it was at one of our mates' birthday parties. And it was really great because I don't dance. So I had to pretend I was doing work, and I was just looking at my phone. I'm like, oh, wow, this is working. But it wasn't until a few years later, because we used to very much run it on a break even, which since the pandemic, that's just not viable anymore. You can be wiped out straight away. It wasn't until a few years later that we realized, actually, this sounds awful, but I think as a team, we're quite good at it. Like, I think we're quite good at putting these shows together. I think we can add a Friday ticket or a club or whatever it was. I think we can expand the show a bit and give people a bit more. So yeah, it's a gradual thing, really.
I love that. Yeah, we're quite good at it. Mate,
I think we are. I think
you
on
and
our
the
day, I
team
think we're
are
all right,
exceptional. No, you and the team are exceptional, and I think that's proven by the fact that it does grow every year. You might not necessarily be trying to grow it every year, but it does.
Mm.
And I think that's testament to the hard work you and the rest of the guys, all of the volunteers put in.
That actually, if I can hijack for a minute, that's a great point, Pete. If I can just say something to everybody watching, we've got more new attendees this year than we've ever had. I've done the figures. It's science. It's true. Like, I know everybody will, because they're all lovely anyway. But this year in particular, if you could make an effort just to be the friendly bunch that we all know you are, because we've all been that new person once. And a lot of the new attendees I'm seeing who are coming along, some of them are in families, absolutely, but a lot of them are coming quite a long way on their own. And they're messaging us saying, hey, I'm excited, but I don't know anybody. Where should I go? We're trying to give them guidance. We're saying, look, come to us. We'll help you. We'll point you in the direction of people. So if you're someone who's been in this community for a few years, maybe, like yourselves, maybe you're somebody whose face is known on YouTube. Maybe you're John Knowles himself. If you're one of these people, this is the year when it would be really appreciated if you could give all those newbies a hand, because they're the fans of tomorrow. We all started there.
Yeah. Definitely. Somebody did put a comment in the thing, by the way. When you started talking about Transformers and music and TFN and music, I think there were some people thought you were about to tell us you were going to do a TFN the musical. How would that go? What's he singing like, Billy?
I could tell you, because that was proposed one year.
Was it?
It
was it by Dave?
I cannot reveal whose idea it was. I also cannot reveal whether or not it was shot down, but that might be a thing that has been discussed. So,
if you ever need a rap for that musical, just hit me up. I can do your rap.
Excellent.
I thought you were going to say Alexis.
We know a man who can.
Did I miss any there? I saw some flash up, but I didn't quite see. I'm sorry.
Oh, I think it was just people saying thank you for all the effort you put in. In fact, it's just that's just the trend. It's a sort of thread which everyone is saying. They're just saying thank you so much.
Oh no, I really appreciate it. Do you know what? People know this because put something up on our Patreon recently. This is going to sound a bit awkward, but it's true. So last year we have something called ConstructorCon, which is our last panel. Internally, we call it the round table, which is weird because it's not round and there's no tables. But it's when the staff get on stage to answer, a bit like this, just to answer questions from people. And last year, there weren't really any questions. It just turned into people saying thank you. And I say just, it was a brilliant thing. We really appreciated it. But we got off stage last year thinking, actually, that might have been a bit of a wasted opportunity because maybe somebody who was a bit shy to ask had a question that could have helped loads of people, and they didn't because of that. So we're gonna hopefully try and guide people a bit this year. So that's some homework for everyone. If you're coming along and you're going to be there on the Sunday, have a think about some questions, because it's not just you who's got the question.
Have you put some plants into the audience? Someone like fake moustache and pretend they've never been before, just to get the ball rolling, snowball effect.
Billy, why don't you sell me more merchandise? Good question.
Speaking of which, Billy, I apologise because it's my fault. I remiss that there was more
TFN news, wasn't there? Because obviously some T-shirt designs, some new ones have been revealed just in the last couple of days, I believe.
Oh, that's
through
true.
your
That's
social
true.
media things, and they are very nice. So if anybody hasn't checked them out, if you check out TF Nation's social media streams, you'll see some of their new T-shirt designs.
He's so unprofessional, Billy. We do apologise, but he's old. He's old.
I mean, I'm the only one in the team who knew about them. All right, then.
I mean, to be fair, I didn't prep that. But the reason I didn't say that, I'll be honest, is because I'm aware that there are some stylish gentlemen and Alexis who are modelling some T-shirts at the moment that will be available soon. I can see a few of them right now, so I wouldn't want to step on your groove there.
I mean, it's funny. Yeah, it's funny you say that. Billy,
They've got
that
stripes
if you
on
are
them,
attending,
look like they're made for me.
Exactly.
if you are attending TFN and perhaps you're going for the first time and you're not part of a firm, at the moment, here is your opportunity to become part of one. These t-shirts will be available prior to TFN. You can collect them at TFN, where we will expect you as a rite of passage to strip off and put the t-shirt on in the bar in front of everyone. It will be an initiation as such.
And don't worry if Peter starts to take some photos and say you're beautiful during this.
It's all fine. It's all fine.
Whilst the pint of beer is on your head and you can't spill a drop. We'll put it up on the Facebook group. All sizes are available. Very reasonably priced at $14.99. I can't promise.
And a firstborn child. That's the important part.
And a firstborn child. Can't promise you'll look as football factory as us, but can guarantee you will look amazing on the Saturday night when we all wear them the same. However, we know that TFN is now pretty much a 5-day event. And TFN have released 2 t-shirts. You buy one of ours, that's 3. You've only then got to bring 2 of your own. So
we have transformed TF Nation into we are part of the Thursday crew. That means we come down in the Thursday where we go out for a meal. You've got people from Primetime Toys, Moth,
massive,
So we get some other people as well, and then we just go out and just have a fantastic sort of pre-TF Nation celebration before it gets real on the Friday.
It's probably fair to say that the convention does start in 4 weeks, but the real fans turn up 3 weeks and 6 days before it.
Yeah,
but that's
lightweight is what I will say to all.
Yeah, exactly.
It's actually in Hilton now.
Thursday.
That's a room.
Already
just a backdrop.
Next year will be the Wednesday crew, then Tuesday crew, then Monday crew.
And this is why I can't afford to go abroad. Billy, thank you so much for taking the time.
We've got one more thing, mate. We got the Billy quiz.
I remember.
Do you know what?
Time now.
Yeah, because it's 2 hours 17.
I had some ideas I wanted to push past you for future TFN.
It's a big red button you should be pressing.
Chloroform time, Paul. That's just your hand.
Right, so you had. So Alexa's got 6 ideas. 5 for you've put on notes. You've called it Billy the TFN. The first one is right. Go for it. Olympics. What does that mean?
So it'll be like Transform Olympics. It'll be like you get everyone in TFNation into a faction. So you get 4 or 6 factions, and there are quizzes throughout the weekend. Quizzes or
that's not how the Olympics works.
But it works for Alexis. That's the important thing.
The next one is called circus. What's circus?
It's how
this is a circus.
All right, fine. TFN circus.
Yeah.
Where you put on a TFN circus, and the events are based on Transformers.
I'm not loving that one. Go to point 3. Scavenger hunt. That sounds good. Right, what's scavenger hunt?
Can we find Alexis after 12?
Alexis hide and seek.
Olympics are legs.
Right, scavenger
I
hunt.
like Olympics. Right. Okay, we're going to circle back for Olympics, but we're going back for scavenger hunt.
No, we're not.
No, we're not. No.
It's a general scavenger hunt, right? For the whole weekend, right? You give everyone a scavenger hunt sheet, and at the end, they insert it, they enter it, and then someone. What's the one?
Actually, I kind of like an idea of
yeah,
a scavenger
right,
hunt with kids, but I guess it'd be so hard to do in a hotel environment, wouldn't it?
Oh, shut up!
Right, okay. Well, we've got 3 more. Okay, 4 years. Wait for
Wait,
fucking
wait,
audience with
I want
Billy. And this is
feedback,
what you're
man.
coming up with.
I like so far. I like the scavenger hunt the most.
Yeah.
Feedback.
What's next?
Do the next one.
No, I want feedback first.
No, do
He
this
said
one.
he likes the scavenger hunt, Alexis.
Is
if you were
the
listening.
scavenger hunt a bit like? Is it like orienteering? Are you like walking around?
Yes.
Are there like clues dotted around? Yeah, I like that.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Right, read
It
along.
could be whatever you want it to
Wait.
be, Billy. Be adaptable.
What's the next one, Alexis?
So it was a read along. So you had like 2 different ways. You had celebrities, as in actors, read their parts, and people do a quiz along lines, or you get to partake in the parts and do like a
script
play.
reading, you might say.
A script reading, yes, and then the audience will partake, and you vote on who is the best actor.
So you do 1 line actor, 1 line audience.
No, as in you actually play a whole part, so it's a whole evening of events. So James Robertson did one, which was a read along, which one was books, which I thought was very funny. He did a dark book reading, and it was very funny. I thought that was quite good to actually do.
I've still got 7 hours of battery.
Shut up.
You'll need them.
Right, okay, you got last 2. This one is my particular favourite.
Feedback.
Last 2. How many have we done?
There's even more.
Four, aren't we? Is there only one left?
2 more. Do you want me to announce it?
No, that.
Okay, go on then.
I need that.
All right. Motion City crossover, Transformers dance off.
Tried it. Didn't
Done.
quite come off. Yeah.
Damn it.
So
That's
close.
the only skill. Right, last one.
Doing the robot.
That's just something cool that you didn't-
That's my notes. That's my notes.
Oh, okay, sorry. That was it. That's all we got.
All right.
Is that it? Thanks.
I'm
mate.
not sure what to do with that information because it was put to me as a quiz and then turned into just giving me
I get about
suggestions.
it.
Uh,
but
but
It's
I
about
like the
deciphering
scavenger
and
hunt, though,
realising
so-
the best of intentions are with that, and it's just sheer
Right.
love. And I do like the scavenger
got
hunt.
fine.
and it's
I
just-
like it, yeah.
So just to be clear, Billy, there wasn't a quiz. It was ideas that were pushing at you that were meant to be TFNs. So the Olympics,
Not
if
we.
you had like factions, as in like different countries who came and partaked in events which were Transformer related.
Billy, it's your fault that Alexis is drunk.
Candle, crown,
Shame on you.
Good idea.
Thank you,
Email them to
everybody.
me, and I'll take them to Billy at TFN.
I'm sorry, Billy, that they portray my ideas as what did you guys do to my ideas? I had
Oh
an
yeah,
idea.
we've done it. We've done something to your
Yeah.
ideas. That's the
Oh,
problem.
there was some good ideas in there.
There was.
Shall we
Not all of
take
them,
this
but some of them were good,
opportunity?
yeah.
Shall we take this opportunity to thank Billy for coming on, taking time out? It is getting really
Thank you,
busy.
Billy.
We appreciate your time, mate.
I
Thanks
appreciate the
everybody.
invite. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks to everybody tuning in. Thanks to my co-hosts.
And especially thank you to Paul, because you have no idea. It's like I don't know. It's like Game of Thrones, isn't it? Guarding now the wall. Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine what it would have been if he hadn't have been there.
Oh, winter is coming.
Yeah.
We chat about that. actually.
Join our socials. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter, X. We're on MySpace. We're on Bebo. You name it, we're there. Have a wicked weekend, everybody.
Have a great weekend. Love you lots.
Love you.
See you in 4 weeks.